All right, Bill, it looks like we're live.
Well, hi there. Cheers. A little late, but hey, we're started. So, welcome. Give me a big hello in the chat. Just give me a bit, or a howdy. You can say howdy, hello, but greet me and let me know that you see me, that you hear me, and that you know that we are indeed live. So, we're here with you now, and we're going to be getting started with today's training in just a moment. But first, I got to power up with some content fuel. But give me those hellos in the chat. Let me just check and see. Gonna make sure. Let's make sure over there. Oh, there we go. Big hellos coming in. There we go. All right. Fantastic. Well, then, this is a packed house. Actually, we have more people on this webinar than we've been having on usually. So, something about the topic we're covering today has really intrigued a bunch of you. So there's a huge audience here. It's bigger than the last two webinars we've done. So this is pretty cool. Well, here, I'm going to power up one last time. Put that coffee down and let's get to it. So, of course, I'm Bill McIntosh. I'm your host. I'm the guy who brought you here. And we're going to be covering some awesome stuff. In fact, the guy that I'm going to be having you come, he's going to come on in a minute. He's a guest. He's a really good friend of mine. And not one of those, those marketer friends where everybody says, oh, my best friend in the world that I met once, in a seminar somewhere, right? I'll tell you a little bit more about my guest in a minute. But him and his partner have built an impressive, I'll just say it, an impressive business. And they have been working on a really powerful, cutting edge traffic and monetization strategy. And it's something that you don't really see much of. In fact, one of the things that they do with this tactic is something completely unique that you can only do with them. Like they have some special software where it works, where you can get a lot of traffic. And the strategies that he's going to show you are really cool because they work with the stuff that we do. So whether you're in our push button AI program, or you have one of any of our other kinds of sites with our profit platform hosting provider, but all of the stuff that you do with me is completely compatible. In fact, it goes, I know it's a kind of a tired comparison, right? But like the whole peanut butter and chocolate, right? And, like the old Reese's Pieces commercials, they go together really well. So with our sites, they're set up to perfectly integrate with this new traffic strategy. And there's even a little bit of AI in the way they do it, which I'll let my guest explain how that works and what they do. But it amplifies your traffic and sends you a flood of users and a flood of visitors so that you can make money, because you can't make money without traffic, right? Without visitors on your website, it's impossible to sell your courses. If you have a push button AI course, it's impossible to sell your physical products or whatever it is you're trying to do with your website. And they completely solve that problem. And I think aside from getting your website up, that's problem number one, right? Getting a good site set up with a good funnel and so that you can collect some money. Problem number one. Well, I help you solve that. Problem number two is all about traffic. And my special guest and his business partner are experts at solving that very important second problem. Now, the guy I've coming on is someone who I trust dearly. He is someone who I do business with, who I trust, and is a friend of mine at a personal level. And again, not one of those marketer friends where you hear people on webinars say, oh, my long lost dear friend. In fact, just a couple of weeks ago, we were partying in Miami for his bachelor party. And man, I got to say, I'm so honored to have been part of that. And I'll tell you a little sneak peek about some of the craziness that went on behind the scenes there before I bring my guest on. But yeah, it was a whole weekend of insanity. We were all over Miami and all of the hottest clubs. We had our own bodyguard. We had a club promoter who followed us literally all weekend long to make sure that everything that my guest could possibly want was made a reality. We ended up on this giant, was it 120-foot yacht? We were staying in this, I think it's a $90 million mansion. And it was an amazing, amazing weekend. I got to spend with him and a bunch of other, really, I don't want to say this, really kind of powerful business entrepreneurs that were there. Some of them have up to 9-figure businesses. So, and which is producing hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, as an example. So we spent the whole weekend hanging out, and the highlight of the weekend was when my guest he was in like this, I guess it was kind of like a king's throne, suspended from the ceiling about 20 feet in the air, being swung over the top of this insane nightclub. So we were in that. What was the name of that nightclub? If you're here on mic.
Yeah, it was called Mr. Jones, I think.
Mr. Jones. Okay, so in Mr. Jones, I hear this huge horn going off and all the girls coming out with bottle service and everybody screaming. And I look up, and there he is, my guest, Jay Cruz, swinging from the ceiling on this gigantic throne. And start swinging him across the entire nightclub, 20 feet in the air. How did you get down from there, man?
I had to negotiate. Negotiate my
I think that might be my favorite memory of the.
I was a bit worried, man. When they strapped me in, I was like, "Look, you do realize I have to get married, right?" So it's funny. Oh my god, what a time, man! What a time.
Yeah. So there's I let the cat out of the bag. There's my guest, Jay Cruz, and he is going to be talking about very unique ways to generate traffic. And here we can bring him on, and I'll say hello to Jay. There he is.
Hey guys, how we doing?
Hey.
Can you see me? Is it working? This camera? Oh.
Yep. I see you.
I've just moved houses, as you know. Bachelor party means I'm getting married, right? Obviously, and we're moving into a new home. Well, we already have, but it's been a crazy few weeks. So hopefully you can see me clearly, and it's not too.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good enough.
Okay.
And yeah. But hey, I appreciate you taking time out of the move and getting into your new place and everything to come and help our crowd out.
Absolutely. I can't wait to show what we've got, Bill. Like we talked about it a little bit in Miami, and I was like, man, I don't want to big it up too much. I just want to drop it. And people are going to be like, okay. Like, when you say something's different, like, no, like not even different. You cannot touch it. I can't wait. Anyway, whenever you're ready, man, you just give me the reins and I'll take it away.
All right, cool. Well, I want to just remind everybody one last time that that he's going to be talking about traffic strategies that are a perfect combination to go with what you're doing with Push Button AI. So if you have a Push Button AI site or you have a site with any of the different business models that you have learned from me, these strategies are perfect. They go together really, really well. So you should pay very close attention to the training he's going to be providing. And then, of course, like usual on these webinars, he's going to be opening up an opportunity at the end where you can actually get access to his software and have them help you with generating traffic. And I have a bonus that I am stacking on top of that, where I'm going to be giving you access to some of my AI technology to help even more should you choose to take part in that. So stay tuned for my big old bonus. I'll be showing a little bit later. And then, Jay, I guess we should share your screen. You have some slides up you want to start with, or how do you want to get started?
I certainly do. And you knew I was going to have a problem with that. The funny thing is, right, everything I'm about to show you guys today, and this is why it makes it even more astounding, is because I'm not the most gifted person technically. And every time Bill and I work together, he's got that slight concerned look on his face, like, Jay, are you sure? You know how you're going to be presenting your screen? And
you're great with people, and you're horrible with technology. I just got to say it. So.
Oh man, I couldn't put it better myself. Hopefully you see that though.
Okay. Let me put it up.
And hopefully I did you proud somewhat. Yeah.
There we go. It's all on your screen now.
All right, man. I can't wait to go. So, Bill, I will. If I've got any questions, I'll reach out. But I'm ready to go, man. So you can leave me alone. You can do what you're doing in the background,
awesome.
And I'm ready.
Yeah, then Daniel will help out too. I got Daniel here. He's helping as well, so he'll be in the chat along with your team that's in the chat. And he may be able to help you out with the Q&A a bit later too. So we'll do some live Q&A after you get through your prepresentation.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We're not going anywhere until you guys are super clear on everything we've talked about. And you've come around, brought it together nicely, and you completely understand everything. So absolutely. Thank you, Bill. So guys, it is a little bit echoey in here, number one. So I apologize about that in advance. I hate echoey rooms, but it's empty. The whole house is practically empty. We're moving stuff in. As Bill mentioned there, I had my bachelor party because I'm obviously getting married. Me and my fiance have just purchased this house in near London. So yeah, lots of craziness going on. And this is why you probably can't see me that well either, because my Elgato light, I bought the special light. I've had it for years. Love the thing, but it's just not playing ball today. So anyway, this is going to have to do. But if you can let me know, you can hear me clearly, guys, and you can see my screen. You can hear my voice. Congratulations, Jay. Thank you very much. Whoever said that. I can click on it, I think. Yeah, I'll come to that in a second. I think Angel said that. Thanks, Angel. And there's a few other people coming in here. So guys, if you see me, this is very, very important, because today is going to be not just an interactive session. It's going to be a super interactive session. You know why? Because you have decided to spend your time here, right? And what if I told you, give me the next 60 to 90 minutes to take you through this, but in return, I will likely give you something you have, number one, never seen before, and number two, which could quite easily be, if not one of, I'm going to argue that it is the most important, but it's going to be top 3 pieces of training you've ever seen, if you've seen a few. And if this is a new thing for you, jumping on trainings like this and watching stuff like this, absolutely, I'm going to knock this out the park for you in terms of, it could well be the most important piece of training you've ever been on, the most important webinar you've ever been on. Sounds like a big claim, I know, but you're going to see for yourself, you're going to experience for yourself as I take you through this. And mark my words, you can thank me later, because this has never been done before. And not just, a new YouTube's course, or, how to use AI for this crap and that. No. This is like completely groundbreaking, and no one can touch this, because like Bill said, you cannot do this unless you do it through us in terms of implementing our strategy, or do it after learning everything I'm going to go through here today. Okay. So I'm really excited to take you through this. I think everyone says they hear me. Screen says starting soon. Yep, I'm about to change that for you in just a second. So that's cool. And I think we can get started here today. So, right now, after that massive intro, in fact, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to take just give me a yes if you're cool with this. I'm going to turn the camera off for now. Okay. So you can see me now. I'm going to turn this off so we can focus on the reason we're here, which is the slides. But then I will be jumping back on towards the end in order to do a Q&A. Okay. And like I said, you're investing an hour to be here. And if this could be one of the most important hours you've spent in business, full stop, then it's worth getting involved. It's worth answering questions. It's worth getting immersed and involved here today. I'm sure you agree with that, right? And in return, like I said, I'm going to give you something which you won't forget. Okay. And you can hold me to that towards the end of the session. All right, cool. So everyone's seeing me, hearing me. I'm going to turn the camera off. And then we can focus on the slides. Okay, so after everything I've said, you're probably going to be slightly shocked. And, what the hell? You should be. Because what does it say on the screen? It says, everything I'm about to take you through, okay, we've been using the same boring method for the last 15 years. 15 years, right? But now it's just so much easier with the power of Amplifier and AI, which I'll talk about. But ultimately, big warning, what I'm about to take you through is boring, but the money is sexy and the money is exciting, right? And I'll talk about that, because today we're going to be combining the latest tech so you can get big results this year. You can take your business to a new level. All the standard crap people talk about, except this is nothing like anything out there. We are literally making history, and you'll be able to see that as we go through this. Again, judge for yourselves. Yeah, can only talk about it so much, but damn am I excited about it, even though it is very, very boring. Okay, but it's brand new. And you're going to see why in just a second. So ultimately, as I said, this is boring. The strategy is boring. And we're going to be presenting you with what we call the 100K Boring Challenge. Okay. But it works, and it works damn well. Okay. So step up, let's rock. And as I'll be presenting you with this 90-day challenge towards the end of this presentation, there's only one thing I ask. If you are someone who's interested in this, if not, completely fine. Okay, but I'll be showing you our new AI secrets to make it available to beginners as well, if that's you. But ultimately, you need to be ready to give me 90 days, not 60 days, right? Not 89 days, not 2 weeks. And you're like, well, what, can I do it in half the time? No, absolutely not. No fluff, no bullshit. I just ask one thing. You give us 90 days, we'll give you results. Zero BS, okay? Not another course, not another way to make money online like thousands of others are doing, and not just another webinar. If you miss this, you will miss out, okay? And we are an entire platform in one, and you're going to see for yourself, as I said. Can't wait to show you, but that's really, really important, because the stuff we're doing with this is unbelievable. But first, as I mentioned, a reality check, okay? So I want to stop everything right here. I want to take a moment so you are paying close attention, okay? Because the reality check's in order, okay? Because a lot of people don't realize this. People jump on webinars now because we talk about AI all the time. But guess what? AI has just made everything 10 times harder. Yep, you heard me. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to break it down for you. But guess what? Nobody is telling you this. Not a single person out there. I wonder why, right? Anyway, we'll come back to that. But ultimately, so this is another important thing. And in fact, I want you to put a 1 in the chat if you hear me. I want to make sure you guys are interacting here, okay? I've got the chat open. So you hear me, you see the screen. Yep, you're all paying attention. Okay, we're getting through. Yeah. Okay, beautiful. I see one's coming through. You see the screen. All right, this is important because, to be honest with you, this isn't going to be the longest webinar in the world, but every slide is damn important. So I need to make sure you're paying attention. You do not want to miss it, and I don't want you to, because there will be tons of questions about lots of stuff later. Okay, so before AI even came out, our smartest, hardworking students got 6- and 7-figure results, like Justin West here. He stacked his profits to over $2,000 per week. We're talking 6 figures in 1 year, 365 days. Okay, again, before AI. Give me a 2 if that's making sense. Yeah, everyone's clear? Before AI, very, very important you understand that. So this result here, way before AI, yes? 2's in the chat. Just need a few. Perfect. This one too. Adam, early student, $107,229.94 in 11 months. One more time. Before, before AI. Denka, he went on to, I think he's close to breaking 1 million a year now. So we need to update this. But when he first started with this method, with this strategy, $4,191 in 15 days, right? No AI. Brent, $42,481 per month as a run rate, and he managed to build that up in just 6 weeks, right? Super hardworking, super immersed. Is this typical? Absolutely not, because it's not typical for people to work hard. It is typical for people to want to push a button and become millionaires overnight. This isn't that, right? Even though what I show you is going to be able to like crazily fast track what you're doing, but even then it takes work. And to build a 6-figure business, you need to treat this like a 6-figure business. That makes sense, right? And I think we're losing our old values, and I'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, that's before AI, because guess what? None of these guys that I've just showed you used our new method. Not a single one of them, right? Unbelievable, right? Well, it gets even crazier because none of them, not only did they not use our new method, because that was our old archaic method, but they also didn't use our new AI tech because it didn't exist, right? And just to break this down for you, you're probably wondering, okay, so why is this so new, Jay? Like, why has Bill made such a big hoo-ha about bringing you on here today? I mean, other than the fact that I love the guy and, we've got a great relationship and he knows that, I know he knows what he's talking about and vice versa. We've never revealed this before. You know why? And when people say, oh yeah, we've never told anyone this before, bullshit. People, I'm not going to say any names out there, but ultimately, there's a lot of cowboys out there, a lot of bullshit going around. The reason we've never revealed this before, I'm just going to outright tell you, because it was too hard. It was too difficult. And if you look at the screen, this is approximately 40 articles and using our boring old AMP method without AI. And over the years, we've generated over 350,000 visitors. On the screen, you can see this, right? This is the graph. This is the data. You can't argue with this. It's irrefutable, right? We're talking about over 117,000 visitors for traffic that normally costs around $5 per click. So we're talking literally over $1 million or over $1 million in traffic value before AI, right? So we do this over and over again. This is just one niche. We pick our niche, we go in and we destroy it. Okay. But guess what? It was too difficult. Why? Because I couldn't reliably teach this to others, as it required creative skills and lots of expertise. But then, yep, you guessed it, AI came out, right? And changed. I mean, it's changing everything every day, but it changed the way that we approach this, because we've now found a way to allow anyone to do this quickly by just copying and pasting our method. Okay, which is where we are today and what brings us to this webinar. But here's the important thing. Our method is 100% proprietary. No one can do this the way we do. And yes, AI is super exciting to begin with. But even then, after the third time of doing it, AI is boring. Yes, you heard me. AI can become boring. You know why? Because you're doing the same shit day in, day out, right? Over and over again, week in, week out, month in, month out. But guess what? It makes real money. So ultimately, it's a boring method, making boring content using a boring AI process to make real money. Okay? And if you don't figure out a method to get the most out of AI right now, then you will not succeed because AI is not going anywhere. And because of AI, competition, bang, has increased 10x, minimum. And AI alone will not help you, right? If you keep watching to find out what our boring strategy is, you need to combine it with the power of AI. If anything, and where are you ever going to hear this on a webinar, right? I'm not just going to say shit to you today. I'm going to show you in depth, right? Irrefutably. And I'm going to back up what I'm saying here. And that's all coming. But you're not going to see a training or hear a webinar anywhere in the world, I can guarantee you this, where they tell you that, yes, AI is powerful, but the AI needs us and it needs our strategy. And that combined kills it. Yeah. And I'll be talking about how that works in just a second. Because now, new, brand spanking new, fresh, we can now present what we call the 6-figure boring posts. And it's available to absolutely anyone and everyone, thanks to AI. All beginners can jump in because 95% of the work is actually genuinely taken care of. The 90-day challenge to build 6 figures from just using boring posts is what we're going to be going through today. And what used to take 4 hours by an expert, by the way, which is why it was so difficult to reliably teach this because people just kept doing the wrong shit. And getting students who actually took action and made it happen and made money was very rare. Right? I mean, don't get me wrong. If you follow the steps, you follow the training, all that, same old stuff people talk about, you can do it. But most people don't do that, right? And they make mistakes and it's not easy to teach them. But anyway, what used to take us 4 hours by an expert is now down to just 15 minutes. And it could be done by an idiot. I'm that idiot. I'm just letting you know, right? Technically, I have no clue what, sometimes I don't even have to use my iPhone. I've just moved into my new home. And as an example, I had to call my neighbor to help me thread the Ethernet cables around the house to patch them through because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And he's like, Jay, really? You're about to do a webinar tonight. You run this multi-million-dollar software company, tech company, and you don't know how to use these patches. I was like, bro, don't worry about it. Just get me through. So anyway, the point is if I can do it, anyone can, right? Okay, so, and of course, I've got my talents, but being technical is not one of them, as Bill told you guys at the beginning. Okay, so the fact is, the story actually goes way back because this is Chris. Chris is actually my business partner. And if you see the screen, give me a 1 in the chat real quick. The Purple Music Lady says, I took time to get here. Please get to it. Purple Music Lady, I'm not going to get to it because I'm not going to skip over the most important parts of the presentation. If you are someone who expects push button, get to it, fast riches, push button abs overnight, give me everything now. No, this is not the webinar for you. Okay, so with respect, it's probably not going to be a good session for you. And actually, we probably won't be extending the 90-day challenge to you because we want people who are not going to say, hey, 90 days, get to it now, get to it now. No, we're not going to do that, unfortunately. So that, like I said, that challenge is going to be for people who are calm, willing to treat this like a 6-figure business, to build a 6-figure business, right? Which takes time, yeah? So again, respectfully. Okay, so this is Chris. You guys see the screen. This is really, really important so that you guys understand how we got here, yeah? All right, now, Chris, my business partner, one of the smartest people I know, a bona fide genius. There's absolutely no question about that, yeah? A true visionary in practically every way. I admire him. I love him to bits. He's amazing. But the fact is, it wasn't always the case in terms of, yes, there's all this cool shit on the screen. We built an 8-figure business, Chris and I together. So we've got an 8 to 9-figure business now, and we did it completely from scratch, bootstrapped with zero funding. What does that tell you? It tells you we know what the hell we're doing when it comes to training entrepreneurs like you. Full stop, irrefutable, cannot argue with it, right? And ultimately, the cool thing about that is that you're in safe hands on this piece of training, right? It's practically impossible for us to grow to 8 to 9 figures if we're not getting results for entrepreneurs like you over and over and over and over again. And that's what we do. So I'm not going to bore you with all the stuff that we've done and all this good stuff, because ultimately none of that's important. And we're here for you. So let's break that down. Because ultimately, Chris was struggling many years back. I would say about 15 years ago, maybe 15, 16 years ago now. We're getting old, right? And he used to, while he was in college, he was struggling to pay his bills. It's not your standard rags to riches, but close. Couldn't feed himself that well every day. Used to struggle. And then, bang, he got a job with a company called AOL. Does anyone remember that dinosaur? Just give me a one in the chat. Anyone remember AOL? I think it stands for America Online or something. Anyone remember them? Yeah. All right. So he started working with AOL and learned all of their secrets when it came to amplifying content, right? And then he left. And after 2-3 years of doing super hard work with them, he applied all the methods he had learned with them. And his traffic started to snowball. I'm talking like soon enough, he was generating more than 50,000 visitors a day, right? And again, that was about 12 to 15 years ago. But one thing was for sure, he was onto something because he had hit his first $1,000 day. Now, I don't know about you, but hitting $1,000 in one day consistently is a massive milestone for a lot of people. If you tend to do that consistently, you tend to know that you're onto something, right? And after a lot of hard work, countless mistakes, feeling humbled, all that good stuff, he went on and he built out his entire method. Now, the interesting thing is that he still uses this method today. These are earnings from a tiny little side project. Chris, as I said, bona fide genius. He loves to run away and do these side projects every now and again just to prove the efficacy of what this can do, what all of our methods can do, right? Because again, the reason Bill's invited us here today, the reason Bill and I are really good friends, and so Chris is obviously part of that circle, and Chris was in Miami as well, is because we don't F around. I repeat, we don't F around. When it comes to business, we do it because we give a shit about people. And for us, integrity above everything. In fact, the reason we started our companies was because of that, to empower the underdog, right? To empower the little guy. And so, you'll see that a lot of this stuff is down to being humble, down to having integrity and all this good stuff. But anyway, ultimately, he likes to prove the efficacy of every method that we do over and over again. So no one can say, hey, does it work? It's irrefutable. And on the screen, if you see the $206 on the screen, right? Okay, so that's a daily snapshot of sales, right? From a little side project, as I mentioned. You see it? Okay, now what's interesting about this is if you divide it by the visitors that you've got on the left, I'm not going to do it for you. Haven't got too much time to go through it. But ultimately, $206, you can work this out, right? Divided by 36 visitors, you're looking at around $5.72 per visitor. So you don't need much traffic. And those telling you that you need unlimited traffic are talking absolute crap. They're talking bullshit because there's only so much going around. But if you pick low-hanging fruit, then you can get a trickle of high value traffic rather, that makes serious money off just a handful of visitors a day. And now if you look at the screen, this is what the side business does today and what it did last year for the entirety of 2022. And the most important number you need to focus on really is the number at the bottom right here. Do you see that? Okay, it's $72,280. You see that? Give me a 5 in the chat if you see that number. Really, really important that you see that. Okay, we don't want you to miss out on this. Again, there's going to be tons of questions on this. So that's the main thing. Forget the rest of the extensive table here, the 72,000. You see that? Okay, now if you divide that by $365, you'll get roughly, I think it will hit the average. I think it's about $195 or whatever on average, but it's in line with the earnings that we did yesterday, right? And all of that was from boring posts. We're talking about around 3 boring posts every single day, okay, before AI. So it used to take quite a bit of time and quite a bit of effort to do that. But even then, the method worked, incredibly well. And again, that was before AI because he just had it done manually, which, by the way, you have VAs involved and things like that in order to hit that amount of money, but it normally costs around $13,000 a year, but he leaves them to run it and he makes around $70,000 from that. Plus there's around 50K in advertising, okay, that goes into it. So anyway, the fact is raising your game with AI is easy if you know the method, right? Because if everyone's got AI, then where's the advantage? There is none, right? So it's about the method that you use. But the fact is the method is boring, it's repetitive. And again, it's not going to be the last time I'm going to say it. The money is exciting. So what we're going to be going through today is very simply the boring AMP and AI method. So this is the 3-step 100K system to promote and monetize done for you affiliate funnels with AMPs or promoting anything you want. Secondly, how to 10x your results and drive 6-figure traffic with around 30 to 100 posts written by AI combined with our very special AMP strategy, which I'll talk about, and an invite. If we deem it's a good time to present this to you, it's not going to be for everybody, which is completely fine. But we're going to be inviting you to our 100K boring challenge. Wait, it's very simple. You give us 90 days, we give you results. There's zero BS, right? And again, you have to be prepared to go the whole 90 days. If you do the boring work every single day for that amount of time, you'll get those results, right? And that challenge, by the way, is all designed to help you implement this rinse and repeat system in just 90 days flat. So you probably think, where the hell do I fit into all this, right? Good question. In 2013, 2014, I met Chris. And again, you know, we've driven lots and lots of money online. We're doing lots of really cool stuff. Yes, we've made lots of money online as well, but that's not what matters, because again, we're here for you. So what does that mean for you, right? Again, 2013, 2014, I met Chris, and that's when everything changed, right? Because back then he was doing a very, very sort of basic version of this traffic system. And again, this was before AI and when he was doing a lot of this stuff manually. But one thing that I saw and I noticed is that the method that he was using was groundbreaking, right? It was driving like serious amounts of traffic on repeat because the system was that powerful. And ultimately, I had to do this simpler method also, right? This method in its infancy, but this was without the AI, as I said. But ultimately, he didn't even tell me about this advanced method until years later, right? I was doing a very, very basic version, but the method is crazy powerful even then. Okay, and now we're actually doing a sunglasses side gig where we're going to be selling the top sunglasses, the most fashionable and famous sunglasses online. Bill will tell you a story about sunglasses later in Miami because I was wearing the pair that Iron Man wore in the movies, Avengers. But the point is, we would never have been able to do cool projects like that, like sell sunglasses online, because it would have been way too time consuming and we would have needed an expert. And Chris was busy. But now even a tech idiot like me can figure it out, and I can launch a sunglasses store online, bang, which is what we're working on right now, just on the side, by the way, just to make some money. So ultimately, look, the biggest thing that this business model has given me is freedom, right? I'm not showing you all these pictures and everything to brag, because, you know, ultimately, if you're anything like me, it's things like this, right? The lifestyle, the freedom that makes running a business worthwhile. The fact that you can make buying decisions, you got the power to make buying decisions as and when you feel like making them. So you can provide for your families. And for Chris and I, that's the most important thing. You're not going to see any yachts or Ferraris or fast cars or any of that crap, beautiful backgrounds and beaches and all that shit here. You'll just see a genuine 8 to 9 figure business that's built on integrity, right? Any money we earn, we like to live a comfortable life, yes, but you know, we like to take care of our nearest and dearest. That's the most important thing for us. As you can see on the left here, just as a note on that, this is not the fastest car in the world, right? But it's the car my father wanted. He had heart surgery many years ago, and he was one of the first people that had faith in me. So to repay his faith when we started, you know, doing well as a business, I wanted to provide him with that. But ultimately, it's our nearest and dearest that we care about. We're not flashy. We don't give a shit about any of that stuff. We just care about growing quietly and in a very boring fashion, because that's what makes money, and that's what brings me to the next stage of this presentation. Because, excuse me, as I said, we're an 8 to 9 figure company, right? We built this from scratch. We're bootstrapped, zero funding. You know how we did that? By just doing what works in a very boring way every single day, right? Rhyme not intended, but there you go. And ultimately, the more boring and process driven we've become doing the right thing every single day, the more successful we've become, right? So being boring makes more money. I don't know if anybody has read the book, Good to Great. Has anyone read that before? Anyone? Give me a 1 in the chat. Come on, some of you must have read this book. If you haven't, give me a 2, but get involved, right? Because you're here for a reason, so we might as well make the most of it. As I said, I promise to deliver a session you've never seen before, and something which, quite frankly, you're not going to come across, because no one else can do this, right? Full stop with what we're doing with AI here. Okay, so good to great. I don't know what you're saying there, Van Morgan. I don't know what that means. It might as well be in another language. I don't know what you're saying. That's not English, right? So please, if you can rephrase your question or whatever you're trying to say, I'll be happy to answer. But the fact is, in Good to Great, right? It's a similar model in terms of, or a similar idea as to what you're seeing on the screen, right? Because Google has broken down, and you can see this on Google right here. And this is mountains and mountains of data to determine the most successful leaders in business in history, the biggest and best CEOs. Guess what? They did the research and they found out they were the most boring. And this is proven, right? How crazy is that? Well, it isn't so crazy, because ultimately, if you do the right thing every single day, right? It doesn't matter how flashy what you're doing is, because ultimately to make money, you have to be boring and do the same shit over and over and over again. It's just knowing what shit works. And in fact, if you think about it, even people's sports lives, or even the life of sports people are boring, right? I mean, we see, Shaquille O'Neal, we see LeBron James and all these great guys coming out, even Michael Jordan and other sports. And it looks glamorous. It looks like, wow, I'd want that life, right? But what people don't realize is their lives are boring. They practice the same moves and techniques thousands of times over and over again to reap those rewards and get those results. Does anyone know Bruce Lee? Does he look familiar? Really, really important question, right? You'll see why in just a second. I'm going to tell you something about him which most people didn't realize or haven't or didn't know, I should say. Yeah, just the one in the chat real quick. Of course, says Kim. All right, well, Bruce Lee was pretty badass. Yeah, you'd agree? I'm sure you would if you know who he was. I'm sure you've heard the name. But the fact is, Bruce Lee said, I should say, when he was alive, that he said, I fear the man who practices one kick 1,000 times versus the man who practices 1,000 kicks just once, right? And you know what? This is kind of bringing me to a big point here, which is I believe there needs to be a return to what we've lost with the emergence of social media, the craziness of the past 10 years, right? Because we've lost the appreciation for hard work. I mean, what the hell happened to just being proud of doing a good job, being proud of putting some blood, sweat, and tears in, right? And I think this comes down to being raised well. But even then, it's still not a guarantee of success, right? And there's some people that are getting famous talking about this stuff. You may recognize this guy, David Goggins. Anyone know this guy? Give me a 2 in the chat. Yep, 2 in the chat, just a couple. So I know that you know. All right. Yep. Okay, perfect. So David Goggins has become famous talking about the same stuff, right? Reminding us of these lost ideals, because I believe the world is losing its way a little bit, right? And if you think about what built the world and the biggest and best countries in the world, right? Like the United States of America, it all was based on hard work, an honest day's work, and honesty, integrity, no complaints, no bullshit. Oh, how much do I have to work? No, you just get down, you do the work, you do what's right, and you do it every day. It's boring, but it works, right? And they embraced it. And look what they've made. Some of the biggest and greatest cities in the world, right? New York City, what? It just came about like this. Someone saying, oh yeah, let's just build one building and get bored. No, screw that. It was over a period of centuries, right? But if you look at New York City now, everyone marvels. You look at skyscrapers, everyone marvels, right? You look at countries like the United States, people marvel, but it takes a long, long time to get there. It takes a long time to build a good body, all of this stuff, right? But now all we hear is push a button, you're happy. Push a button, you've got a wife, right? Push button apps, push button happiness, push button, riches, of course. Let's not miss that. But it's just crazy. I mean, what the hell happened to just putting your head down and doing a good day's work? And guess what? That's the kind of shit that makes the money anyway, right? Because if you take shortcuts, you're going to have to come back and do it right eventually. So you may as well start now. Because what we found is, and actually this is a very famous quote. I think the Navy SEALs use this now. Nice little link to David Goggins there, who was a Navy SEAL. He was actually out of shape and, on his way to another grave. But he went through, worked hard, and boom, he became what they call him now the hardest man in the world, right? And the motto of the Navy SEALs, and of course he joined the Navy SEALs and became famous and wrote some books about it. But Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. In other words, if you do things properly and you won't screw them up because you're not rushing and desperate to get results really quickly without having to do the work in the first place and running around like a headless chicken, if you do that, you'll end up screwing up and you'll have to come back and do the work anyway, right? How many of you have been in that situation? I know there's going to be tons of you on this webinar who have probably gone through that, right? And it's not your fault. I get it to a degree, because ultimately you're being told, follow this, follow that, push this, push button this, push button that. But that's all bullshit, because ultimately you have to come back and you realize 2 years later, 5 years later, some of you 10 years later, you have to come back and do the job properly and, eventually. So you may as well start now, because there is no shortcut, ladies and gents. You have to treat a business like a six-figure business for it to give you that six figures, right? And beyond. And in the end, you have to buckle down. You have to do the work. So you better just get on with it earlier. Save yourself the years, create a process that works, and just keep doing it over and over and over, day by day, right? And in fact, does anybody recognize this person on the screen? Anybody know who this is? Yeah, who was it? Anyone? Oh, there we go. So Will, just let me see if I can get your name. Chad. Okay, I have to click on your name. Perfect. So yes, Chad, it is in fact Napoleon. And I think a few more of you have got it. Andrea's got it as well. Congratulations to you. And Blake Milton. Okay, yes, this is in fact Napoleon. And there's a very famous story about Napoleon that embodies this point, right? Because once his servant was dressing him, and he famously said to a servant, "Today, dress me slowly because I'm in a hurry." And if you understand those words, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about here. Don't screw things up by rushing it, because you'll have to end up coming back and doubling down on the work you have to do, right? So if you're sick and tired of doing that over and over and over again with the promise of push button stuff, then you're in the right place, because you do have to work hard. You do have to do the right thing over and over again. You just need to find out what it is. Okay. And doing things this way is what's allowed us to build our 8 to 9 figure per year brand of being boring, but just doing the right shit over and over and over again. And as a result, we've now helped thousands of people make boring profits doing boring shit. And in fact, guys, if I had to show you, because we've had webinars in the past where I've gone in and showed every single testimonial we can, names, examples, like we would be here all night, quite literally. But this is all before we even had AI, guys, everything you're seeing on the screen, and it's still rolling, because we're able to give you access to our most powerful method yet. And it's going to absolutely blow anything else and everything else out the water, because there's nothing like this on the planet. It is going to change the history of internet marketing. Okay. In fact, it's already doing that. And I'll show you why in just a second, because what we're talking about today is absolutely attainable by everyone. And thanks to AI and thanks to the method that Chris, spearheaded, was his brainchild, which he's been doing for over 15 years. 15 years may seem long, but if it works, it works. And if it makes money, then it makes sense, right? And in fact, I don't know about you guys, but like I said before, the money, the fast cars, the yachts, and all that crap that these people show you, most of them aren't even making that money and renting most of that shit. But there you go. Ultimately, it's family that matters most to me personally, right? For you, it might be different. And it's fine if you like fast cars and yachts and all that. No problem. No judgment. But for me, this is my family. And on screen, on the left, this is my niece. And I'm showing you this because the system you're about to discover, we've actually taught to everybody we know and love that's old enough to learn it. Why? Because it's so incredibly powerful. There's zero bullshit on this webinar here for you today. And if you pay attention for long enough, you're about to experience something which, again, it's so powerful. We're teaching it to our own families. And in fact, on the screen, this is my brother, Harvey. Does everyone see this? Give me one in the chat, because I'm sick and tired of a lot of the bullshit out there, right? And you guys, I know are probably feeling the same. No one's saying it, right? But it's true. A lot of these gurus and all this crap that say, hey, you don't have to do any work and all that. You with me? You're going to have to. I mean, yes, we can make things simpler, but you have to have the mentality of doing the work, right? And what matters. So exactly. Andrea says there's too much bull out there. You have no idea, Andrea. I think you might do actually, but there you go. Ultimately, Harvey came to me during the pandemic and he said, Jay, he's got 3 young kids and he was struggling due to COVID. And he said to me, Jay, my business might be going down. I need help. What did I do? I introduced him to this method, of course. And I said, do the same shit over and over and over again for 90 days. Don't look left, don't look right, don't ask questions, just do it. He did. And these were the payments that he received as a result. Payments like clockwork, right? Over and over and over again. And this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. And if you look closely enough, he's actually wearing some sunglasses. He is involved in the optics industry. And he's actually our partner now between Chris, myself, and him. And we're launching that side project selling sunglasses because this method is so easy. We can just pick a niche that we like, that we enjoy, that we want to get involved with, and we can rock and roll with it, right? Okay, so ultimately there's 5 deadly forces, which I'm going to help you to completely destroy today, right? I'm going to touch on this really quickly, but if you've ever struggled with money, ability, confusion, overwhelm, or time that stopped you from getting where you want to go. And I've taught thousands of entrepreneurs and helped thousands of businesses now. I haven't come across a single business that hasn't dealt with all of these. In terms of, in some capacity, at least 50% dealing with every single one of these, right? So can you give me that here real quick? If you've been in that situation before, if any of these have impacted you in the past, then let me know. And put that in the chat for me. And you can actually put exactly. So Blake says the payments aren't boring. Absolutely. The money is sexy, right? The method might be boring, but the money is definitely sexy. And Sue, unfortunately, no, I'm not going to be able to do that for you. We cannot. You might be dying here, but I'm here to bore you. I'm not here to entertain you, unfortunately. Because Sue, like everyone's saying, the method's boring. This presentation is going to be very, very boring. But the money's damn sexy, right? And if you want to know how we do that and a change in the game, you're going to have to stick around. And if not, then all good, all due respect. There's no guns to anyone's heads here. And I appreciate you jumping on. All right. So most of you have struggled with this, right? Because here's the thing, even you, Sue, you might be like, get to it, move forward, do this. But have you dealt with every single one of these? And if you have, great, good luck to you. But I probably would guess you haven't, which is why you're on this webinar in the first place, trying to deal with most of these in a very, very fast way. And you can't shortcut yourself to doing that. But my promise to every single one of you today is if you stick around, all right, give me a 2 in the chat if it's fair, that if you stick around to the end, I'm going to show you how you can eliminate all 5 of those deadly forces. Yeah? Does that sound good? Lots of fires coming in? Beautiful. All right. So here's the good news, because I'm going to get into the meat and bones of the presentation today. And please remember, it is 11:53 for me at night. So it's 7 minutes to midnight in London. And yeah, it's, I'm not used to doing too many late webinars, but for Bill, of course, I'll be jumping on and giving you everything I can here today. But bear with me. If I say anything weird or I sound tired or whatever, then you know why that is. But we're going to make it through here today because I'm committed to showing you some cool shit. So here's the deal. Happy days because you don't need any inventory. You don't need to sell your own products. You don't need to create any content yourself because AI does it all for you. You don't need to be in the US or Europe if you don't want to. You can work from anywhere in the world. You don't need any technical skills or special abilities. And by the way, as I said before, no, hallelujah, because it's not Facebook groups, it's not social media bullshit, email marketing, Instagram, TikTok, or starting an agency or any of that usual crap. It's completely different. All right. And just to drive this home again for you guys, okay, results are not typical. The people driving 6, 7, and 8 figures are all hardworking and they immerse themselves in the training. They implement it. They stay focused over the long term. They don't ask for unnecessary shortcuts, right? And they don't add unnecessary complications. And Sue, they certainly, when we're going through training, don't ask us to cut short and hurry up because they know that it's going through doing shit properly that's going to get them the results. So just please follow the training, follow the steps, and you'll get the results. In other words, these guys are very, very damn boring, right? Okay, so enough already. You might be quite rightly getting impatient or excited to find out how all this works. I just felt all that was really, really important to set the stage. But what is this system that you're talking about, Jay? Please get to the point, blah, blah, blah. I get it. So let's do that now. Because all I'm going to be going through, things are going to get super fast now. So put your seatbelts on. Because, this ride's gonna go quite quickly. So all I'm going to be taking you through is the 3 steps of the 6-figure boring posts challenge. That's it. It gets you 6 figures, and all you do is boring posts, and there's a challenge involved. All right, nice and simple. And there's 3 steps to this. Number 1, discover your hidden mini niche. So everyone paying attention, yeah? Everyone paying super close attention? Okay, awesome. Number 1, discover your hidden mini niche. I'm going to talk you through this in a second. Number 2, then just do some boring posts using our AI method, okay, which does 95% of the heavy lifting. And number 3, monetize with done for you content. And then you rinse and you repeat. It's as simple as that. Okay, so let's get to it. Because ultimately the simplicity comes from our 3 secrets that I've just outlined, yeah? And that's it. So let's go through it. Secret number 1, get off the hamster wheel and keep it simple. Okay, so how can you get off the hamster wheel and keep it simple? Well, it's very simple. Because ultimately, and give me a 1 as we go through this, because I'm going to fly through this next section here. But most people think, and if you can relate to this, as I said, give me some 1s coming in, give me some energy in the chat, because most people think if they want to make money online, they need to be doing everything, right? You ever been told this? It's like, and it does make sense in principle, right? But it's like, hey, are you on Facebook? Oh, you don't have you're not doing SEO on Google. Oh, you're not blogging. You don't have a blog. Oh man, okay. You don't have an Instagram. Okay, you're not tweeting anything. Oh my God, you're not doing SMS marketing. Oh, no way. You don't have a YouTube channel. Holy crap. Like you're screwed, right? The list goes on. And the fact is, yes, if there's nothing else you take away from this session, then this should be it. If you do want to be successful in 2023, building a business online, you do need to be everywhere. And the successful brands and businesses are everywhere. But that's no help for someone looking to build a side business or grow a startup. In fact, you're told, hey, focus on one marketing channel at a time or you will fail because it's too much. And then number 2, you're also told don't put all your eggs in one basket, but then you're still told to be everywhere. Like, what the hell do you do? It's no wonder it's confusing, right? And the reason it's confusing is because there is a monumental amount of content to do. It's expensive and there's just so much to learn. I mean, look at the screen. This isn't even all of the platforms out there, right? We're talking about Facebook, Google, blogging, Instagram, YouTube, podcasting. This is just a few. There are so many more. And I know most of you know them, right? And would have spotted that. I mean, how the hell? I mean, it takes a lifetime almost to master just one of these channels, right? So you end up feeling probably a little bit like this. And again, I don't blame you, because whenever I and we as a business have tried to do too many things, we failed because we feel like a hamster on a wheel, right? So surely there's got to be a better way, an easier way, right? Because we needed a system that was streamlined, simple, and didn't have so many curveballs. You with me? And trapdoors. And guess what? We found it and we built it. I should say, not even found it. We found we found enough between Chris, myself, over the years to build a new way, which is boring posts with AI. And literally that's all we do. So we have 3 steps to this, which is discover your hidden niche, choose how to make money, and use Munch AI to make boring posts. I'll cover that in a second, but let's start with step 1, discover your hidden niche, right? So let's go through that real quick because, and again, more on this in a minute. How many of you have a niche that you're interested in or like to have the freedom to focus on any niche that you like? So you can literally land in a niche. You're not restricted to niches. You can go into any niche that you want, anytime that you want, and blow it up, right? Would that be nice? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to be showing you how to do. Discover your hidden niches in just a second, all right? But then all you do, once you've found your hidden niche, I'll show you how to do that. Okay, we'll even give you a niche. If you can't find one, don't worry, it's all good. Then you just monetize however you want. Because you pick in step 2, which is done for you, monetization. There you go. It's getting late. So your brain's like shutting down. But anyway, done for you monetization. You pick from sales material in whatever niche that you want using a special tool, which you get for free. It includes the landing pages, the email series, and everything you need to monetize your audience, all done for you. You just pick the one that you like. Simple, right? Or of course, you can monetize however the hell you want. And I'll talk more about this in a second. So we've got discover your hidden niche, done for you, monetization. And it does get even better because actually in step 3, you also get your mini AI automated website. And here's an example of one on the screen. So give me a quick 1 in the chat if you see that. This is a really, really important slide. Okay, so let me know you can see this. Yep. So shoot me some ones. Okay, really important slide. What do you notice about this this mini AI automated website? Does it look like AI? No, be serious. If you saw this on the internet, right? Does it look sexy? Does it look inviting? Does it look like you would want to read this and take your time to go through it? Does it look like it's helpful and useful and provides value? Right. This is what I'm talking about, right? And it's completely done using AI. And it's an automated website which automatically publishes content on your behalf. And again, you don't really need to know how that works, but it's crazy. Imagine just being able to churn this out day in, day out, right? With no added effort, because this is exactly what we do. Right? Super simple, boring posts using automated AI. And that's what you see on the screen here. It's fast and easy to set up. Like I said, we can actually give you the exact template, and it's structured in a very, very specific way. Again, I've driven sales of over 200,000 digital and physical products online. I know it works. So the question becomes, just as I have a sip of water there, sorry. Okay, so we can build these sites super quick, but then how many sites do you need, right? In order to make the money that you need to. Well, this is very, very simple, because if you look at the screen, a really, really important slide as well on here, if done correctly, even if you had just 5 sites up and running, okay, on average, and by the way, this is data from the trenches. This is what our most successful students have done. Okay, this is where we've got this data from. But overall, with 5 sites, some of them doing kind of bad, like let's say site number 4 here at $19 per day in profit, and some doing really well, like site number 3 at $94 a day in profit. Okay, on average, you're looking at a total of $297, right? You're going to want to see that and pay close attention, yeah, because there's going to be tons of questions later. As I said, $297 a day is a weekly profit of $2,079, which is a yearly profit of $108,108. Now, this is 5 sites. What happens when you've got 8 sites, 10 sites, right? You get the point. And ultimately, the more sites that you set up, the more money you're going to make. However, of course, if you don't set up any sites at all, then you're not going to make any money at all. I know it goes without saying, but there you go. Some people, again, want to do everything super fast. Yeah. Push button this. No. There's still an element of, working this properly and doing the boring stuff, okay? And setting the stuff up. But if you do that properly, it's just like a Ferrari, right? A Ferrari is beautiful. It's sexy. It can get you where you want to go super fast. But what's the point of having a Ferrari if you're not willing to jump into the damn thing and drive it? You may as well have a push bike, right? Because some people are that lazy and that expecting of, no, that's not this. So anyway, this is how that works. And just to give you an idea of how powerful this is, okay, this is some great advice from Justin Brooke. He's actually the millionaire founder of AdSkills, which is a really, really cool website. But he says 4 websites making $200 per day is $24,000 per month, right? If you calculate that, $24,000 times 12, that's $288,000 per year. And remember, it's not just about money, but time as well, right? But in reality, normally one of your websites takes off more than others. So we say focus on the ones that take off, and you're not going to need, tons and tons of them, right? Even 4 might be too much, and you'll be able to kick ass with 2, for example, because you pick the ones that kill it and then you follow through with those. Okay, so what if, so another important question. What if you had behind the scenes access to our groundbreaking AI automation method and our done for you monetization? I'm going to say it properly before we end the night. Our done for you monetization, there we go, platform, combined with the AI automation method. How much money do you think you can make? And no, you can't just use ChatGPT doing what everybody else does. It's not going to work, okay? I'm going to tell you why in a second, but there you go. It's just not going to work. Because if everyone's got that same advantage, then there is no advantage. You with me? Because everyone's going to produce the same amount of content. All right, well, just think about it. How much could you make? Well, here's the deal, right? It's a bit of a rhetorical question because look at the screen. This is Warren. He sent this in. This is his information, his data. But he says, in his own words, making $3,000 to $5,000 per month from one single mini site, purely using Outbound. But that site kept him busy. So with AI, he could have done 10. This is without AI, by the way. Before AI, without AI, or any of that stuff, So yeah, he could have done 10 or 15 or whatever. But he's happy with $3,000 to $5,000 per month. And ultimately, look, not everybody needs to want to have to push, for $100,000, 6 figures, 200 grand, whatever, and make millions. Some people are happy with that, right? And Warren's one of those people. He's cool. He's happy. He's happy making $3,000 to $5,000 per month, which is a salary. And if he wants to scale that up at any point, then he can, right? Okay, so you're probably thinking, okay, Jay, I get the idea, but isn't the internet already super saturated with competition, right? Like, isn't there just tons and tons of competition? Everyone's selling most of the stuff out there that they could be selling. Isn't just madly saturated. Would you say that? Give me a 1 in the chat if you're wondering that at any point. Right. Okay. Of course, right? If you are not wondering that, then I'd be concerned. But in secret number 2, we're going to talk about how to make money when everything is saturated by competition. And I'm going to be going into what most people, well, in fact, what nobody is telling you, because there's a lot of what nobody's telling you that I'm breaking down in this webinar. You've probably noticed. Because here's the deal. Most people think that the key to making big money or big money online, I should say, is to focus on the best-selling offers in the biggest, most profitable niches. That kind of makes sense in principle, yeah? Give me a 1 in the chat if that makes sense to you as a question. Have you thought that? I would have thought this is like, this is perfectly reasonable, makes tons of sense. Of course, go for the best-selling offers, right? In the most profitable niches. I mean, of course you should do that because you're going to make more money. No, because they say just follow the money, right? That's what they do. They say, hey, follow the money. It's going to be super simple. And sure, sometimes it can work. And there may be a special method that works for a while, but it usually gets saturated. So what are you supposed to do? And why does it not work in most cases? Because the fact is, and if you give me a chat, 1 in the chat, if you've ever been through this before, because if I had a dime for every time someone told me that they've been through this process, but it's on the screen. So it's what I call the old way, the bestseller myth. And this is what they tell you to do. You ready? Hey, go to ClickBank, select a popular niche, sort by popularity, get your affiliate tools, and start promoting. And boom, tomorrow you will be a millionaire. And after a few weeks, you're banging your head against the wall, saying to yourself, why the hell isn't this working? Right? This is probably you. Or has been. But this is definitely most people that go through this process. Because the fact of the matter is, if everybody does it and everybody's jumping in, not many people are going to succeed, right? Because the competition is just ridiculous. And again, it's common sense. If everyone's promoting it, you're going to have tough competition. But you know what they say about common sense, right? It's not very common. Yeah. And by the time you're finished, you may as well have just created your own product because you have all the same headaches and the job is just as expensive and time intensive. So surely there's got to be a better way, right? Well, now there is, because I want you to answer this very, very important question as well. One of the most important slides in the deck, because I want you to imagine if you ever went fishing, very simple question for you. Which ocean would you rather fish in? This is actually a concept from a best-selling book called Blue Ocean Strategy. If you've never read it, highly recommend picking it up. It came out, I think, in 2005. But which ocean would you fish in? In other words, which ocean would you rather be doing business in? A beautiful, beautiful open blue ocean where there's no competition, so you can make tons of money, as you can see, lots of fish, or a red ocean bloodied with competition and just banging your head against the wall over and over again. Obviously, it's going to be blue ocean, right? Obviously. I mean, again, you're probably like, Jay, of course it's blue ocean, bro. Like, what the hell? Like, come on, man, that's a bit obvious. Well, if it's that obvious, why the hell are most of you, again, mark my words here, okay, challenge me if you like, but why the hell are most of you still fishing in a red ocean then? If it's that damn simple, yeah? Well, the truth is, again, it's probably not your fault. The reason you're still fishing in a red ocean is because this is what they tell you, and this is the reality of what's happening, right? Just like treasure, it's easy to find if you know where to go to find it. In other words, if you have a map, and that's exactly what we do. This is one of the things that Chris and I are known for. After doing this for years and years, we've come to build this entire process here. Because what if there was a way to find high profit, zero to low competition, many niches and products every single time without losing an arm and a leg and a few years of your life in stress? Well, now there is, but we call it the new way. So this is hunting for hidden niches. And you don't go for the obvious opportunities because they're low in number, high in competition, and difficult to profit from. You go for the hidden opportunities, which most people have no idea exist. There's multiple millions of them out there, zero to no competition, and we're talking about no barriers to profit. And there's so many more of them. They're just difficult to find. And so this is what I call Chris's unique strategy, where he finds hidden niches in any niche. We actually like to call this almost like the Matrix, right? It's like a line out of that movie, because it's like the niche within the niche. Yeah, and now it's even faster with AI. And if you get stuck, we'll actually give you a niche from the get-go. Because ultimately, if you find the hidden niches, you find the hidden riches, right? Rhyme fully intended. But there you go. So you're probably wondering, all right, Jay, that sounds good. So how the hell do I make money with this? Well, that's the simple part, because it's actually almost endless ways, if you think about it in the right way. But ultimately, there's nine ways to make money from boring posts that are very simple. Yeah. So let's go through these real quick. We've got number one, you can get paid commissions promoting products. You can build an email list because you're going to have an AI automated site that's getting that traffic coming through. So you can put anything you want on there, right? And it auto populates and all that good stuff. And the AI just super boosts it. It's crazy. But you can build an email list, and then, in any niche that you want, you can sell advertising space on autopilot. You can flip the business for a lump sum, because if the site's getting loads of traffic, bam, you can flip it. And practically after 2-3 weeks, it's already going to be worth, I would say, between 5 to 10K potentially, depending on the industry and the level of competition. And again, you pick your niche. It's all good. Whatever you like to do, whatever you like to go into. We're going into the sunglasses niche to start up an e-com store because I love sunglasses. So there you go, right? But high-end quality sunglasses. So you can also sell as a service to other businesses, right? You can sell your own products. You can promote your own e-com products, which is exactly what we're doing with the sunglasses thing that I talked about. You can sell info products or software, or you could even sell a membership. But without question, our favorite for any beginner, okay? Give me a 1 in the chat if you're a beginner, by the way, if you haven't got a single clue how any of this works, are very confused and slightly overwhelmed online. You don't know where to start and push forward and what to do with this stuff. So give me a 1 if you're a complete beginner. And if you actually let me know this, it's going to be better, because I'll be able to sort of customize the rest of the presentation a little bit. But give me a 2 if you have a business already, or if you have a way of making money online and you have a business that's generating revenue online right now. So 1, beginner; 2, generating revenue already online. Yeah. Sorry, I think my cat's just jumped out of my window in the new house, which is not a good thing for those of you who've got cats. In the middle of a webinar, amazing, and it's dark outside. My fiance is not well; she's in bed. It's what you would call a clusterfuck. But there you go. Such is life. Anyway, lots of ones coming through. We've got beginner. Okay, perfect. So it's a mixed bag. Not a problem. It's always good to know where you're at. But ultimately, our favorite for a beginner is very simple. You just get paid $80 to $1,200 in commission promoting products that you actually like. So you pick your niche based on your interests. Yeah, makes sense? Okay, awesome. So I'm going to go grab the cat. I'll be right back. Thank you for those of you who understand. I was just about to ask you for 2 seconds, and I'll do that. So excuse the break here, but I'll be right back, and then we're going to wind this up, okay? Just bear with me.
All right, guys. Well, while Jay's off capturing his cat, I'm going to be here talking for just a moment. So this has been pretty good, right? What do you guys think so far, what Jay's been covering? I know, the cat situation is very important. And we all know how much we love our pets. So we don't want Jay's cat to run off into the night. And awesome. Yeah. So thank you all for being understanding while Jay rescues the cat. But we're going to continue. And the important thing that I really want to focus on is how this is useful for a lot of ways. And I know Jay and Chris's system, they actually have a whole system that they help you build a site, help you monetize a site, and then most importantly, drive the traffic. But I want to point out that those of you who are working in any of my programs, that you can use these strategies and their software that Jay's about to release to everybody in just a minute. to drive to any of the businesses you're working with me. So if you've built a site on Push Button AI and you're trying to drive some course sales, this is awesome for that. That's actually one of the best traffic strategies to get going. And if you have your own site, whether it's e-commerce or perhaps you're selling your own kind of digital product, or you're doing lead generation, or you have an agency, this is suited for all business types. And so the traffic generation system and the software that they're going to be releasing to you in just a moment is something that is universally a solution, right? So as I said at the very beginning of this webinar, we've all basically got two core problems to solve to get the money flowing in the door. Problem one is to get your site up so you have a business that you can collect money, whether it's an affiliate site or whether it's a course site that you've built like with me. Hey, can I put that on screen here? Hey, you saved the day.
Look at his face. You'd never expect him to be such a little terror. Oh my God. Okay, we're good. Thank you guys for your understanding.
All right, Jay. Well, hey, so I've been telling them how useful the software is at driving traffic, and your systems and methods are perfect for any kind of a business that they're still working on with me. So on that note, I'll hand it back to you, and we'll let you take it away.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so Rocky is what the cat's name is. He says hi. Little did he know he was inches from death, but we don't have to talk about that because he is now safe and sound inside the house. The window's closed. Okay, so you're absolutely right, Bill. When it comes to driving traffic with our boarding posts and the AI and the method that we have, it's untouchable. There's nothing like that, right? Or like this out there. And that's a really, really important thing to remember. And I'll be talking about that a little bit later. But our favorite for beginners, like I said, is in line with what Bill's talking about, because we do have our own platform and everything else. If you combine it all together, you can get paid $80 to $1,200 in commissions promoting any product that you like. So give me a 1 in the chat if you're a beginner and you like the sound of just picking what you have an interest in and then being able to make money from that. Does that sound good? Yeah? Okay. I'll be very concerned if it didn't. But guess what? It's not just a pipe dream anymore. You can absolutely do that now using AI and everything else that we're talking about. It's unbelievable because the amount of sort of niches out there you could be capitalizing in. Just as an example, here's just a few that we pulled just earlier, right? Just as an example. So you can see low competition offers. The drug and alcohol rehab program is paying $400. I'm moving long distance. You're looking at $80 just for a lead. They don't even have to buy, right? Biohazard, high converting, high payout pay-per-call. You're looking at $80 per lead. They don't even have to buy, for goodness sake. Unbelievable, right? And guess what? There's tons and tons more just like this. And in fact, the iMoving long distance one in the US, everyone see this one? Give me a 1 in the chat. Yeah, okay, this one's really important. You know why? Because guess what? Guess how many places there are you could be moving to and from in the United States? Guess. Because there's about 19,000 towns. Most people don't know this. 19,000 places people could move to and from in the United States. LA to New York, Seattle to Santa Monica, right? Think about it. San Diego to Fort Lauderdale, Miami to Raleigh. Like it goes on. I mean, I'm not sure I'd want to go in that direction. No offense to Raleigh, but after being in Miami for such a short time and having the time of our lives, as Bill mentioned, we were there for a good time, not a long time. But as look, really, I was just working it out as I was talking there. You're talking about 300 million possible routes people could be moving house across the US. That's just one niche, one example. So it's the niche within the niche, which is where the riches lie, right? And it's good to know all this and do your own research, or you could just get started right away with a pre-built offer and a funnel together. So give me a 2 if everyone's looking at the screen here, because if you don't want to go out there and do your research, right? And if you don't want to pick your own niche and go into something you're interested in right away because it might be a bit too much work for you, or it's a bit overwhelming and stressful, even though we give you absolutely everything you need in the 90-day challenge, well, what about just giving you a pre-built offer and funnel together? Because literally using our done for you monetization, you can jump in and you can choose any one of these, which is you just pick one of these and you activate and you start selling the product. It's stupidly easy. I hate to say that as I believe in working hard, as you know, but F me, this is so damn easy. Or you can monetize whatever the hell that you want or you have, okay? All right. So you're probably thinking, all right, Jay, and we're getting to the business end of things now. I really appreciate your patience, guys. Sorry about the whole thing with the cat. I do love him to bits. So it's probably a good thing I saved his life. Otherwise, yeah, someone mentioned in the chat, my fiance would not probably kill me. She would. She loves him to bits too. He's loved dearly as he runs around causing trouble behind me now. But anyway, earlier, I don't know if you remember, I promised to show you where all this traffic comes from, right? And how to set up all this stuff and really what brings it together on the AI side of things, right? So you're probably thinking, well, what the hell is this Munch AI that you were talking about, Jay? Well, that's what secret number 3 is all about, because ultimately, AI is only as good as its teacher. Most people think they rely on AI. Nope. In this method, the AI relies on us. Yep, it cannot do it without us because we have the power, we have the method, and no one else understands how this method even works. I'm talking about an AI-powered done-for-you mini site. Sounds great, but you still need to kickstart the massive traffic. And here is the big, fat, boring secret. You ready for it? Bam! This is it. And if you understand this, you'll understand the method that I'm talking about here. Because AI really is like a baby Einstein. It's got huge potential, but it depends what you teach him, right? Does that make sense to everyone? Give me 1 in the chat if that makes sense to you. Really, really important that you understand. I mean, it's a simple enough concept, right? Yes, even Einstein, probably one of the most intelligent people in history, as a baby, he had huge potential, but if he wasn't raised the way he wasn't fed the right information, fed the right love, fed the right development, then he probably wouldn't have ended up how he did, right? Pretty straightforward. And ultimately, Chris has actually been perfecting the same boring method since 2006. So I'm talking about all his knowledge, and he's a bona fide genius, as I said, goes into the AI that no one else on the planet has got. Not a single person. And that's what I said to you before. This is why thousands of people have succeeded using his methods before AI, because it's his method for generating traffic, which no one can touch. And now that we're combining it with AI, it's a game changer. Okay. And I'll be talking more about how we've grown to 8 to 9 figures just off the back of that method, using a groundbreaking piece of tech as well. But it's all built upon the method itself to snowball traffic in any niche that you pick, and off you go, right? But ultimately, before AI, he couldn't really teach the boring post method because it was just too hard for most people to comprehend and to grasp, right? We couldn't reliably teach it to other people. They kept fucking it up, basically, right? Wasn't their fault. It was just too complicated. And ultimately, some people who were, rather boring, they immersed themselves, they did the work, they didn't complain, they didn't ask for shortcuts, they just wham, bam, let's go, let's get down, let's be successful, and they made it happen. And yes, they started, smashing 100K per year or more without using AI, but the game is about to change. So you've got people like Warren doing $3,000 to $5,000 per month from one single mini site using our platform and our method, but again, without the AI. But now, ladies and gents, the game, as I said, with AI is about to change, right? Because most people could not do this. It would take around 8 hours a day to make these boring posts. Who the hell has got time to do that, right? But we've got perfectionists like Kirsty. This is Kirsty on the screen right here. She can do her daily boring posts in just 21 minutes, right? And she admits she's even slow, right? As in slow, I mean, she calls herself. She's like, oh, I'm a bit slow, right? But then someone saw that she did this boring post in just 21 minutes. And guess what? Off the back of that one post, someone offered to pay her to do this work for them, as well as giving her extra money on the side, not even knowing that she did it with our boring AI method. Unbelievable, right? We've got people like DK Finn, who does it in just 5 minutes. Look at the screen. Really important, right? And she admits that, sorry, 1 second. Slides change. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you got DK Flynn. It's not a she. He is an actual he, as I can see on the screen. Sorry about that. The screen was taking a second there. It was lagging. He says 5.14 seconds. I fell a bit short of my target. I wanted it close to 4 minutes. So 5 minutes, 14 seconds. I just did one that took right around 5 minutes. I stopped the timer at 5 minutes, 2 seconds, but I called it at 5 minutes. What is he talking about? He's talking about doing the boring post. It's so quick and easy because he can get the time done and down because of the AI. And you can truly run this business in 2 hours a day. But as you'd expect, I'm going to recommend going all in and doing it full time if you can, as the more effort that you put in, the faster the results you make. Because if you treat this like a 6-figure business, then you'll make even more than that. There's no doubt. Again, boring, everyday, monotonous work, even with the AI, but that's what builds big businesses. Okay. And just look how powerful this is, guys. I mean, 5 years ago, this is before AI, and we were smashing this across the park, generating over $1 million in traffic, doing this on the side. This is actual data, right? Which demonstrates this. Again, over 117,000 visitors with traffic that normally costs $5 per click. So 5 times 117,000, you can do the math. Right? Okay. So you're probably wondering, well, that's a lot of traffic, Jay. What about the, and this is before AI, this is 5 years ago. So imagine where we're at now. But let's break this down, right? Let's go into the details, because I think people use and throw numbers in webinars like this all the time, but they don't break it down for you. So ultimately, 40 boring posts is what we did to reach that. That was 3 hours each. So 3 hours per boring post. You're looking at 350,000 visitors over a 3 to 4 year period, right? Again, this is just in 1 year. So you multiply that by 3 to 4 years. Each click is worth $5. So literally almost $2 million in traffic value, but that's 10 hours other miscellaneous work to make this happen. So it's a lot of work, right? But ultimately it's work that works, because if you stop working, this passive income will typically still continue for 1 to 5 years, maybe even longer. Even if you left it as it is, that's how powerful this method is, guys, right? And it took way more work way back then. But of course, now you have the AI method. And 5 years later, after the work has actually stopped on this specific website, the site still drives 25,000 visitors per year. Does everyone understand that? I just really, really want that to sink in, and give me a 1 in the chat if everyone gets it in terms of what I'm saying here. Yeah? So 5 years after the work stopped, 25,000 visitors per year before AI. Unbelievably powerful. I just really want you guys to understand this, right? And again, that's another side business before AI, 5 boring posts per day. And we're looking at around $70,000, as you see on the screen. Ed has actually grown to around 7 figures per year using boring posts in several niches. You can see him mentioning this here. This is his own post. And he says, I've run 5 amps. That's just a boring post for this client for the past 5 months. We're ranging 100 to 130,000 monthly views for their GMV. And this is actually a luxury design build niche business in New York City, one of the hardest places to get traffic in the world, right? But he's built his business in 7 figures per year using the boring posts, as I said. He actually operates in quite a few niches. So before AI, another website, 21,540 clicks using 75 boring posts. This was actually in the wine niche. So we've been blowing up sites left, right, and center without AI. Again, e-com store results after 1 month before AI. And you can see after 1 year, 110 boring posts did over $1 million in sales, right? So again, give me a 2 in the chat if you genuinely, just so we're not messing around here, right? And we all understand the gravity of this. If you would like to drive over $1 million in sales in a year, forget everything else, forget where I'm going, forget what I'm going to show you. Just tell me that one question, answer that one question. Because if I could deliver that for you, if you could deliver that for yourself, wouldn't it be worth staying on this webinar? Wouldn't it be worth the time that you've invested on this webinar? No fucking around, straight up to the point. $1 million in sales after doing 110 boring posts. That's all I want to hear. Would you like to know how to do that? Because that's exactly what we did, right? Before using AI. And if you understand the gravity of my words, we've now introduced AI. You understand what the connection is and what I'm talking about and where this is going, right? I mean, this is groundbreaking. It's as simple as that. And I really hope you guys understand the opportunity here, because now using AI, we can show you how to do the same. We've never been able to do this before because it's been too complicated. But now we can show you how to do the same. And we challenge you. I challenge you to stack to over 6 figures per year. So finally, new in 2023, this is what we call our AMP AI strategy, the 100K boring AMP challenge. We've actually created a comprehensive new challenge to help you implement this entire system that I've been talking about with the AI and mass traffic from A to Z, even if you're a beginner, right? And this is using a mix of done-for-you tools, AI, and our AMP software, which I'll talk about. So the bulk of the work is handled for you. So over the next 90 days, you can master the challenge to stack your own 6-figure per year revenue streams and scale that as far and wide as you want and as you like. It's all down to you and where you want to go, right? So ultimately, this is a complete business in a box, right? There's nothing like this on the planet. I challenge you to find it. I challenge you to even hint at something that's similar to this. You cannot, which is why staying on this webinar till now has been so pertinent for you. As I mentioned at the beginning, it's well damn worth it, right? But still, if you do decide to jump into this 90-day challenge, this is not going to be for you if you don't have patience. It's not going to be for you if you expect overnight riches, and it's not going to be for you if you expect to push a button and get results without doing the work, right? Yes, this is going to be super fast. Yes, we're harnessing, our new AI, right? And our method, but you still need to treat this like a 6-figure business. If you don't, then you won't get the results. It's as simple as that. Okay, is that fair enough? All right, fantastic. Okay, so what you're going to get today, we're going to give you the software, the training, the coaching, and the tools. Give us 90 days and we give you results without the BS. Not another course, not just another webinar, not just another way to make blah, blah money online, using another YouTube ads course or whatever it might be. No, this is brand spanking new technology that no one in the world has got access to. And the method itself was getting masses of traffic, as I showed you, without the AI itself. Okay, so we're going to give you a 12-week live training course and challenge. So again, we're an 8 to 9-figure business. That's a fact. That's irrefutable. We've built that because we know a thing or two about getting results for entrepreneurs like you. Forget the tech, forget the technology, forget the AI and all that kind of stuff. And by the way, Hugh, this is for Hugh Geohagen, if that's how you pronounce your name. I don't think this challenge is going to be for you because it sounds like you want to do shit in a hurry and miss the entire point of the damn webinar, which is calm down, take it easy, do the boring work day in, day out, and you'll get the results. But you don't sound to me like someone who's willing to wait even like 30 seconds. So 90 days, I don't think we're going to be able to get out of you. All due respect. If that is you, great. You need to chill out, bro, and wait till we get to the end, okay? None of this, get to the end. I'm sorry, but, all due respect, that's not the kind of webinar this is. If you've listened to anything that I've said, the likes of Napoleon, Bruce Lee, right, David Goggins, if they teach the same shit that I'm telling you about, it's about doing what's right day in, day out and not looking for a shortcut every 2 seconds. I'm sick and tired of people doing that because that's why you're poor. That's why you're not successful. And that's why you probably keep going back to webinars again and again and again. And you probably will still be doing that in 10 years' time. But for those of you who want to get out of that vicious cycle, stop getting anxious, stop expecting everything in 2 seconds, and start doing the work to build a proper business that people can respect and value, right? So anyway, sorry, I had to say that. I couldn't help it, but it has to be said. I'm someone who's built that business, so I can tell you from experience. When I was younger, yeah, I used to want the same thing until it hit me like a train. And I realized, oh shit, I actually have to do the work and be patient here, right? So if that's you, great. If not, no problem. But anyway, 12-week live training course, as I said, it's called the 100K Boring Challenge because we've seen people follow it and make over 6 figures in their first year from scratch, doing things the boring way. So it's up to you. The question becomes, will you join the boring challenge to promote your own products, or will you follow our method to profit as a complete beginner? Can you give me one, if you want to promote your own products, if you have them, just a really, really good thing for me to know, or two, if you want to follow our method as a complete beginner, because with the AI now, it's just, it's made everything so simple. All right. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Hugh. I hope I didn't offend you there, but sometimes you got to say shit how it is because that's what wakes people up. It's like, otherwise it's going to be you in 10 years. Same shit. Webinar after webinar after webinar after webinar, not making a single ounce of progress. Like, fuck that. Who wants to live life like that, right? So I'm here to tell you the truth. You might not like it, but it is the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts. So, this ain't push button shit. This is still building a proper web business. So you got to be in that building a business mode. And if you're not, then go on another webinar. But I guarantee you're going to be in that same cycle for a long time, like most people. And then they wonder why they don't make any progress. Oh, I'm still broke after 5 years. Well, why the fuck do you think that is? Excuse my French again. But again, Bill's brought me here because I'm real. I don't mess around. I don't hold any punches. But I tell you straight up, based on all I can talk about is my experience and what I've achieved. And whether you want to emulate that, is down to you, but it's based on, you know, solid results of building an 8 to 9 figure business. All right, awesome. So lots of people are saying a whack on the head. Yeah, it's kind of like that. I'm so delighted. Can we do both beginner? Yes, you absolutely can do both. So you can promote your own products if you have them and follow our method to profit as a complete beginner, or you can follow our method to profit as a complete beginner and then start to promote your own products on top of that if you want to start your own brands or whatever it might be, right? So you absolutely can do that. Depends on how you want to bring that. Okay, so the 100K Boring Challenge 12-week live training course and challenge is at $4,995 value. You get the Amplify software. A nice little surprise for you guys. This, by the way, is the world's first and only amplification engine that attracts buyers to your site using the power of amplification, right? In terms of our method, as I showed you before, but it's the world's first and only that gets you all over the internet. If you look at the screen, I haven't talked about this earlier, but we do sell this to proper businesses doing over $1 million a year and spending over around 100K on paid ads. 50 to 100K is what we won't take them on otherwise. But you are getting this deal at a crazy rate because of Bill, right? And I'll talk about that. But you get the enterprise edition of Amplifier, and with Amplifier, you can absolutely take over online very, very quickly, and it's an unbelievable opportunity to use this amazing tech, and the AI is layered on top of this, right? So you get that as well. You actually get 12 of these, and I'll talk about that in just a second if you jump in here today. It's not even the focal point of our presentation today, but we've actually updated Amplifier, so I'll talk about that a little bit later if we get a chance. But here's what you're getting. You get the Amplifier Software Enterprise Edition added. The total value goes up to $9,990. What's next? Okay, so if you want exposure onto hundreds of sites, as I said, as part of the Amplifier software, which you get access to, you ready for this? This is the big surprise that I've been waiting to tell you guys. Okay, and that is we're going to actually give you enough credits to drive traffic to a product or offer with potential 6-figure results. With each credit, we're going to give you 12 if you jump in today. By the way, we're cutting that down to 4 only, so you can focus on 4 sites. But you know, you're lucky you're not going to see the opportunity to get 12 credits ever, because we're going to cut that completely and change it to 4. Just being straight with you because you're Bill's people, yeah? So 300 sites in multiple formats. Every single credit allows you to blast content all over the internet, like you can see here. There's nothing like it in the world. Infographics, podcasts, videos, news articles, blog posts, social media. This is our secret sauce, which powers the whole AI side of things. And it's all based on Chris's method for getting that traffic. Okay, that method that I talked about. Okay, so you get 12 of those credits. And by the way, this is just a couple of the, well, not a couple, a bit more than that, God. But it gives you an idea of the kind of distribution I'm talking about. Literally, if you use this software, our Amplify software, content absolutely all over the internet, YouTube, Facebook, podcasts, you've got Apple Podcasts, you've got all these different sites, distribution, bam, everywhere. I mean, it's just mad. You're all over the internet. All right, so we're going to give you that pack. The total value goes up to $15,930. And if you want thousands of hyper-targeted traffic driving content ideas generated in seconds, then boom, we're going to give you the AI boring post idea tool. So if you get to a point where you want to know, what else can you post about, right? What can you do a boring post about this time? Well, if you pick your niche, if you pick your industry, you just use our tool and it generates thousands of boring traffic getting ideas for any business at the push of that button. Okay. Powerful process. Used to take us days, but now it takes only minutes to do. And we've actually automated this. It's crazy powerful. We're also going to give you the AI secrets for the best content. So we combine our unique AI content process with hyper-targeted articles that are the best content in that niche. And like I showed you before, this is a real screenshot. I hate screenshots like this sometimes because you will not understand the power and the weight of it. That's an actual screenshot of actual traffic where we've gone up by 51% and it was worth over $1 million. As you can see, that's just for the month, I think, or even for the week. I'm not sure. I need to double check it, but it was worth $1 million by the end of the year. Crazy, right? But fact, irrefutable, right? What else do you need? You can have a boring mini website builder software. So it's a proven mini site, which we give you automatically. It creates high converting mini sites and sales funnels in as little as 27 seconds. And yeah, it's professionally designed, done for you. Happy days. You can have access to that. And you'll also get the boring done for you funnels. As I said, this is the monetization side of things. So this is the sales material to promote offers already included in funnels with opt-in pages and upsells and all that good stuff. And the funnels, again, are available in any niche that you choose. You just add your affiliate link. Okay, so the value goes up to 21,920. We haven't even talked about the most important component yet, which is you need to be around people that lift you up and inspire you, not bring you down. That's why we created the 100K Boring Challenge Mastermind group on Facebook. 10,000 members, 14 certified professionals, 24/7 support. So if you ever get stuck, you have questions, boom, super interactive group. Don't be shy. Jump in and people will help you. It's as simple as that. These are over 10,000 people trying to succeed at exactly what you're trying to jump into. Yeah. All right. So total value goes up to $23,915. What happens if you get stuck? We're going to give you 24/7 support. You never have to go far to get answers. You'll have email coaching, all that good stuff. Eliminates all the guesswork and tech overwhelm. What's the price? Right. Finally, despite me almost losing my cat, we've made it towards or to the tail end of this and to this moment here. But my question to you before I show you the price is, what's one shout out campaign worth to you? In other words, if just one campaign made $12,000 in a year for Adam, so this is just one post made $12,000, one boring post in a year for Adam, what could it possibly make for you, right? In other words, would you be happy to pay $12,000? No bullshit. You can be straight with me. I'm a big guy. I can take it for everything that I've just showed you. Everything, the AI, the method, right? The credits, the 12 credits of using the Amplify software. You normally give 4, we're going to give you 12. That's worth thousands in itself. And I'll show you our website and how much we normally charge for those. The training, the 90-day challenge, everything rolled in. If you had to pay $12,000 one time for a company that's doing 8 to 9 figures and experts are getting results for entrepreneurs like you, would it be worth it? Just give me a quick 1 in the chat if you think it would. Give me a 2 if you think I'm talking complete shit, which I'm completely happy with, right? But at least I know where I stand. But I mean, look, I'll be very, very shocked and surprised if you said no, quite frankly, because if you're guaranteed results, if you do the work and you follow the challenge, right? And you've seen the results we've been getting without AI, imagine results with AI. Like there's zero bullshit here. It's all in front of you. And you've seen everything with your own eyes, right? So we've got ones coming in. So Bob Mills says no. Okay, that's cool. Most people are saying absolutely. So we've got Roberto saying absolutely. We've got Joanne saying yes, absolutely. We've got John Miller saying absolutely. We've got William as well. So that's fine. I mean, I'd love to, because Bob, I think you're going to regret saying no, because I'd love for you to tell me why it's a no. It's unbelievable value. I honestly, I challenge anyone to say no and give me an actual reason why, because this is worth way more than $12,000. Like I say that happy days, happily, hands down. But anyway, you can see why it would be a great deal at $12,000. If you don't, it's probably not going to be for you anyway, which is completely fine. I respect the fact that you've been here this long. Okay. But if you don't see the value by now, then yeah, there's definitely something wrong. But you're not going to pay $12,000. You're not going to pay $9,995. You're not even going to pay $5,000 here today, because you can jump in today. And if anyone challenges this price, then please do it openly. And I'd love to have it out with you, in a nice, friendly way, because I know that no one can touch this price. No one can touch this price. But because of Bill, because of the presentation that he's invited me on today and the relationship we have, we are going to give you absolutely everything that we've talked about here today, which is like crazy. It's like literally, I can't. In fact, I'm going to show you something in a second, which is going to put this, to rest.
Hey, Jay, before everybody heads rushing off to that link, I want to add something here really quick.
Go ahead, Bill. Please go.
So, hey, who here is interested in this? What if I could make this even better? What if I could stack some stuff on top of this that would make the offer even better? If that's something that you would be interested in, pop in the chat. It'll be off to the side or down below, and say, I want in. Do that right now. I want in. So I want to know, because I have something up my sleeve. Well, I don't have any sleeves, but I have something, a little sneaky extra, some extra stuff I want to give out. But I want to see your interest first. So who is interested in this? Say, I want in. Pop that in the chat. Let me see. Okay. Awesome. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's interest. Good. I mean, I kind of knew there would be. Jay put together a pretty awesome offer for us here. So I really do appreciate that, Jay. But I wanted to see who wants in. So again, if that's you, say, I want in. Say that right now in the chat. And so what I want to do really quickly is add to the stack, and then I'll pass it back to Jay. I know he's got more to tell you about the offer and about how it works, and answer questions. We got live Q&A. There's still a lot left to come, but I wanted to give you all a chance to say, I want in, if that's you, because here's the deal. I have arranged to do even more for you. Okay. So one of the key things in Chris and Jay's Boring Challenge and in their whole model is it's all centered around content, right? I'm sure you've figured that out after watching it at this point. So what I want to do is for everyone who gets in, I'm going to help you. We're going to take one of your selected pieces of content that you're going to be using in their system, and I'm going to create a custom AI video for you. Now, normally you have to spend at least $1,000 in our AI product in order to get this. But for everyone who gets in, I'm going to take one of your pieces of content. You guys get to pick which one it's going to be. And I'm going to transform it into up to a 20-minute long piece of content video. And it's good. This is not some kind of crappy junk. This is really good video, really good voiceover, really good. Like, it has stock images and cool text that fly in and out. And it actually takes your content and creates a video version of that content. I'm going to do that for you. You get to select your favorite post on your website that you're going to be doing with Chris and Jay. And I'm going to take care of that for you. And I will convert it into a video lesson done for you if you when you join us today in this special offer. On top of that, Jay, I don't know if you know about this, but Chris and I were brainstorming yesterday. I don't know if you heard about this.
Yeah, you mentioned something.
Yeah. So one other thing that we're going to do is Chris, who's like the mad scientist in the laboratory when it comes to traffic. He's a traffic genius. So Chris and I are going to get on a live webinar, and we're going to sit down with everyone who joins us, and we're going to be revealing, both of us, right? Because I'm kind of known for traffic too. I've driven hundreds of millions of clicks and visitors to my website, so I know a thing or two about traffic. So we're going to sit down, and he and I are going to just openly start discussing traffic. And he's going to talk about his top 10 traffic strategies. I'm going to talk about my top 10 traffic strategies. We're going to compare notes, share ideas. And then we're going to talk about how do you take the system through Chris and Jay, through the Boring Challenge, take some of what I do, like through Push Button AI and all of the other programs that we have, and put them together in the perfect fashion. So we're going to be doing that as a special bonus training for everyone who jumps in as well. So that's, and I think I've forgotten something. There was something even more. But so I may come back. I might have another thing I'm throwing in here, but I wanted to make sure that you had the most possible, highest odds of success when you join in Chris and Jay's program. So we're going the extra mile to throw in some extra stuff for you should you join through the promotion today. Now, this is a fast mover bonus, so make sure you jump in. Don't sit around thinking about it. Jump in and, again, say, I want in the chat, and that should give you a link where you can claim all of that. And Jay, I'll hand it back to you now, so I'll get out of your way. And
no worries. Listen, I needed the break, man. It's
you've been talking a while.
I've been talking for a while, and it's late, and it's you know what it's like. When it gets past a certain time for all of us, the brain starts to shut down, especially when you've been awake for so long. And there's a lot going on in our business, and we're growing and stuff like that. So, okay, cool. Where were we? I was showing the link. Yep. So the link's on the screen. It should be in your chat box. I just want to make it clear that you do not have to go for the full pay if you don't have the means. Obviously, if you have the means, then you should, because you're going to save money, right? I can't be fairer than that. But of course, by the way, this might not be for you at all, which is completely fine as well. At all, as in no options, which is cool. I'd be very concerned and surprised if that's the case, considering that what we're showing you has never been done before. It cannot be done right now anywhere else other than coming through us with the boring posts, the AI method that we've, or the AI supercharging it. And then, of course, you've got our training, our 90-day challenge to push you all the way. No messing around. And hopefully you've seen from the way that I've gone through this here today, Chris and I don't mess around. We don't sugarcoat stuff, but at the same time, we are driven by integrity, right? Integrity and honor is the most important thing. But we keep things super boring. We're not, again, there's no beach behind me, right? There's no Lambo to my left and Ferrari to my right and some other crap like that. Yes, we had lots of fun in Miami. It was my bachelor party, so I thought, hey, let's spend a bit of cash. Why not? But that's not how we live day to day, and we don't need to, because we like to focus on providing for our loved ones. That's the most important thing for us, Chris and I, in terms of how we work. Okay, so anyway, so having said that, the link is on your screen. It's in your chat box. I just want to make clear that we do not have too many spots for this. And again, I've got a lot of stuff to go through, as Bill said, but I just want to say this and state this very clearly. So I want to make it explicitly clear, right? Once enrollment is closed, once we have enough people come through, we will shut this off. And unfortunately, you won't be able to get in. Okay. So for some people who are asking, when you click that link, please pay very close attention to what I'm about to tell you right now. If you click the link and it takes a while to load, then that's perfectly normal, considering the amount of people that have jumped in on this session here today, and the amount of people, no doubt, that are going to be scrambling to get in on this price. Okay. Why? I'll tell you about in just a second as well. In terms of the price and why, if it isn't obvious already, I'll make it a no-brainer for you. Okay. Like dead, zero, like effort involved, zero thinking involved. It's a no-brainer, and that's it. Later rest. Okay. So we can only take on so many people. We're not going to compromise the quality of our training once we deliver this. We cannot take on more people than we know in terms of the number that we put aside. So it's very important. Two things. Number one, as I said, if that link takes a while to load, it's just so many people trying to jump in on this. So the server is going to struggle. So keep trying, but the link should definitely work. We've tested it over and over again. My team's tested it, so has Bill's. But if you click on the link and you get onto the checkout page and it says sold out, unfortunately, it's done. Okay. Don't be angry. I'm just telling you that could happen anytime. It happens a lot. It's happened before in the past when we've done stuff like this. And people do get pissed quite, it's invariably it's going to happen, but I'm telling you now, so don't blame me after if you can't get in, because people will be banging the doors down and complaining once we've shut it down that they want to get in. But I'm going to tell you straight that once we've closed. It's pissed people off before. We'll piss people off again if we need to, but we're not going to compromise the quality of our training and when we deliver it. So once we're closed, we're closed. Okay. I want to make that super clear. Having said that, if you need 20, 30 minutes, if you need to go speak to a spouse or a partner or speak to the bank or whatever, that's completely fine. You'll just need to put in save my spot, right? This is what I've been leading up to. So pay close attention. Save my spot in the chat box. Okay. If you do that, then the team will timestamp you and we'll be able to give you the Bill's bonus, but also the bonuses I'm about to share with you here today. And of course, the actual spot will be secure. All right. Now, what I want to do, okay, real quick, is actually show you something. Now, Bill wasn't expecting what I'm about to show you here for sure. There's a lot of stuff he probably wasn't expecting today, but does everyone see this? This is really important that you let me know you can see this, okay? So just put a 1 in that chat. You're all used to it now, I'm sure. Yeah, you see this, amplify.com? You'll see why this is important in a second. All will become clear. Okay? Give me as many 1s as possible, guys. I'm about to make this an absolute zero-brainer for you. Yeah? Okay. Now, what do you see here? You see pricing? Okay. I'm going to click on this. And guys, by the way, like I said, we sell Amplify normally to businesses doing over $1 million in revenue and spending a minimum of 50K in paid ads. Yeah. So we're working with proper businesses who don't mess around. And that's our qualifying criteria. We will not take them on. We won't even speak to them on, on demos that we do unless they qualify in that criteria. So you are getting this at a ridiculous price. You know why? Because look at this on the screen here. Look at this. This is our pricing, right? What does this say? Can someone put that in the chat? Really important that you put that in the chat for me. What does it say? Amplifier, price per campaign. So per boring post, in other words, which is what this is powered by. Okay. What does it say? It says $9.95, right? That's one campaign. It's on the screen. We sell this to normal businesses, and we're here because of Bill. Okay. You are not going to get this price anyway. So please, I implore you, do not share that link with anybody. Please keep it private, because if our normal customers start seeing these prices, it's going to, number one, confuse them, and number two, they're going to be pissed. So, if that doesn't tell you the level of discount you're getting, that's one campaign, you're getting 12 individual boring posts or campaigns included today, right? That's going to take what you're doing with the boring posts even further. Take what you're doing with the AI even further, because now it's going to be supercharged by our software amplifier with 12 individual credits and campaigns that are going to blow up your business and put you all over the map, all over the internet. And a lot of you might know about Amplifier already, so you know what it does, right? So that can really send your business to another level. But even one is normally worth $995, and you're getting 12 today. And that's not including the training. That's not including the 90-day challenge to hold you by the hand, paint by number, and take you through this entire process. Using our method, using AI to get you those boring posts up and running, to build your mini AI websites that are automated and start driving traffic in any niche that you want, so you can start making money moving forward, okay? Or drive traffic to any product offer that you've already got. And then again, supercharge it with amplifiers. So if you, again, like if anybody still thinks it's too much, it might be too much for you right now. That's completely fine. I can accept that. But if anyone says it's not a good, fair price, then yeah, literally based on what you've just seen, it's an impossibility that it's an unfair price, because you've seen that we charge up to $995 for one campaign. Normally you're getting 12. So already, not including everything else that you're getting thrown in today, that's $11,940. Fact. That's it. You can't argue with it, and that's not including the training. It's not including the 90-day challenge. It's not including so much of the stuff that we're offering you here today. All right. So again, just making that super clear. Okay. All right. So your investment today is 100% risk-free, and here's why. We're going to give you a 60-day money-back guarantee. Now, here's the deal. I hate talking about money-back guarantees. Reason being, my stance is always, if you've got 1 foot out, don't put any feet in. If you've got 1 foot out, don't put any feet in. There's no point, right? Because that just tells me that you're already looking for an out, which is fine. But just don't do that with us, because one thing that we've got is a guaranteed approach. If you give us the 90 days and you do the work you're supposed to do in those 90 days, which is boring, it's monotonous, it's day to day, which if if it hasn't been made clear to you by now, that's what makes the real money. That's what builds the real businesses. From Bruce Lee to David Goggins to Napoleon, for goodness sake, any sort of, success in history, any business, the best CEOs in history, it's been proven, as I said, they were boring. They just did what worked. They found out what worked, and they repeated that shit over and over and over again. So the work was boring, but the money was sexy, right? And exciting. So anyway, my point is, do not jump in if it's not you and you're not willing to put that work in to begin with. But then, of course, when you build a foundation, everything skyrockets, right? So then it goes into a different realm. But anyway, even so, we do offer the 60-day money-back guarantee, even if it's 59 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes from now. But I just want to make it clear. Do people refund? Yes. Have we ever offered refunds? Absolutely. But it's always been that someone's not a fit because they've jumped in, and the first question they ask is, after they jump in, is, oh, Jay, can I do this in 1 week? Oh, Jay, can I just work 30 seconds, 1 minute a day? No. Like, what the hell are you doing? Why did you even invest? Because it doesn't make any sense. If you want to build a real business, you got to treat it like a real business, which means you should be asking, is there any limit to how much I can work? Because I want to work every day, every second, every hour, because I know that this is, it's like, if at the edge of let's say at the edge of a big field, you see a hill, and if you are 150% know in that hill is gold, are you telling me you're going to stop digging? No, you're going to get your friends, your family, you're going to get buckets, you're going to be like, right, let's dig this, hardcore, right? Let's dig. Let's do what we can. Let's not stop working. And then you hit a bit of gold, and then you keep digging and you hit more gold, because the harder you work, the more gold you retrieve, right? Same as this. So anyway, point being, if you do refund because you can't be bothered to do the work, you don't want to treat it like a proper business, you don't heed my warnings and you jump in anyway, number one, stupid thing to do, because I've made it clear you shouldn't invest. All due respect, it's fine. But if you happen to, and we refund you, there's no skin off my nose, right? I'll still eat the same food, I'll drink the same drinks, I'll spend the same time with my family, right? I'll have the same cat. You with me? Not much will change. I'll drive the same car. There's not much that's going to change for me in my life. However, if you jump in this today, if you take full advantage of this, if you see what this can do with your own eyes and experience it for yourself, this could change a hell of a lot for you, because there's nothing like this on the planet. It's not even a case of this is new. This is untouchable, right? No one can even do this, let alone it being new. It's brand spanking new. Yes, with AI, it's turned into a complete monster when we've been driving millions of dollars of sales in traffic very quickly for certain businesses who do the work without AI. Imagine what we can do with it, right? So it's just, yeah. And I talk about it like this because I'm, like you probably noticed, crazy passionate, because I know what results you're going to get. It's like if someone's poisoned and you've got the antidote, but they don't believe you, you're like, oh, like, what would you do, right? Imagine any one of you guys, if a family member, a friend, someone dear to you was poisoned and you had the antidote, but they just wouldn't believe that you've got it, right? For some reason, like, wouldn't you just be like, oh my God, what do I even do? But you'd be passionate, right? You'd be like, no, you don't understand. I've got it. Anyway, cool. Okay, so what to do next? You've got two options, the 995. If you've got the means, go with it. If you don't, then absolutely, we want to make this as accessible to as many people as possible. So you absolutely can go into the split pay option. Let me see if I can get this full screen back. Enter full screen. No, it's doing something weird. All right, anyway, and for the first 30 people, I do have my own bonuses as well on top of Built. So here's what to do next. I've done that. Right, fast action bonus number one. We're actually going to give you the 100K case studies. So this is every single person that's ever jumped in on this to make 100 grand, right? To take the boring challenge and make $100,000. There's quite a few of them. And if you ever want to be successful in life, the best piece of advice I've ever gotten is just, if you want success, follow success. That's it. If you want to be a baker, find the best damn baker you can and find out how they became so good, right? What are their recipes? How do they cook them? How much do they practice? I know it sounds obvious, but there you go. If you want to be, you want to start a business selling chairs, find the best business selling chairs and find out how they did it, right? Well, that's what you're being offered. This is being valued at $995. My goodness, this is priceless. Priceless. How would you not even, like, people buy this from us? We sell the fast action bonus number one because people want to know what the route is to success. I mean, it's just crazy powerful, right? Sounds obvious, but my goodness, you're going to learn from their mistakes, fast track your way to success. Just copy what they did. Reverse engineer, right? Simple. All right, here's what you get. 100K case studies. The total value goes up to $26,074. That's all well and good, but how do I know this is going to work for me? Well, for the first 30 people only until the webinar shuts down, we're going to give you a free one-on-one coaching call. No, it's not the typical, jump on board and we're going to force you into doing or buying something else or whatever. No, we might have some options because you always need to. That's how you grow businesses. But they're going to be tailored to you, your specific situation, in terms of you're going to get pure value and pure advice on this call, right? And you're going to be able to ask any question you've got to get that ice crystal clarity on what to do next. You with me? Any questions on how to implement the strategy, find your niches? It's all taken care of and handled. What niche you should go into, to how the AI works, what you can call your site, all that stuff. It's all taken care of and handled, right? So you're good to go. And you can ask all your questions that you want. The total value goes up to $26,574. Okay. So what's
hey, Jay,
next? Yes.
I've seen a question in the chat too. People are asking, how do they get these bonuses? And it's quite simple. Just join through the link that's been shared in the chat or that you see on the screen there. And that's it. Just join quickly because these are fast action bonuses. So they're not unlimited. They'll be here forever kind of a thing. So just join quickly using the link you see on the screen or that's been shared with you in the chat, and you'll be in line for the bonuses. Lovely.
Thanks, Bill. I told you I'd be struggling with the questions, right? I can't see them. Normally, I mean, they're up somewhere, but I don't know. I've got like two screens. But we're all good. Bill's answered that for you. With these bonuses, guys, it's for the first 30 people until the webinar shuts down. So, you might lose out. I don't know. I don't know if we've hit the first 30. We might have done, but I wouldn't risk it. Because for those of you who have jumped in already, if you're in, just give me an I'm in as well, and I can give you a shout out, but I can also let you know whether you've been able to claim that bonus or not. Okay. But right now, I don't know how many we've got left. I know we've got a few. I don't know how many, but there's no point asking that. Just jump in if you want to jump in. And if this is not for you, that's completely fine. But if you've made up your mind, you're going to end up jumping in anyway. You may as well give yourself the best chance for the bonuses, right? Like, it makes no sense. This call, by the way, the one-on-one coaching call, my goodness, it's stupid not to take that. Our calendar gets booked up like, super quick. because we've got actual business strategists that work with businesses doing over $1 million a year. Okay. And doing over 50 to 100K in paid ads. That's our criteria. That's the businesses we work with. So imagine we've been able to bring this to you because of Bill, but our account managers, our key account managers work with these bigger businesses. We're taking them off those calls so we can serve you guys. So of course we can't offer that to too many people, but if you want to claim it, like Bill said, don't mess around, use the link, jump in, because not only do the bonuses, are they limited? Because we only have so many account managers, and it's going to be a stretch on our resource. And my God, this call is just so, you can ask anything you want. Imagine, it just puts you on the right track straight away for success, hot off the presses, strike while the iron's hot, because you've got that excitement and momentum now. So you need to do it quickly if you want to jump in on that. But yeah, so you can jump in and claim that. But also, like I said, once we're sold out and you click on that link and it says sold out, it's sold out. Once enrollment closes, it closes. And that can happen anytime, depending on.
And Hugh asked just to confirm that also includes my bonuses. And yes, Hugh, it does. So yeah, my bonuses are included. All you have to do is buy through the link right now. Don't wait and put it off. And then, yes, you will get my bonuses that I'm adding in as well. And I'll talk more about those in a minute. And we're going to answer questions too. There's a lot of questions coming in, so we'll answer your questions as well. And yeah, so I interrupted you there, Jay. Sorry.
No, Bill, all good, man. All good. We're after Miami, we're brothers, man. We connected, so you can interrupt me as much as you want. No worries. You need to tell me about the fossils and stuff you collected. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, that was badass. Okay, so you're probably wondering, is this only for beginners? What happens when I'm ready to scale up? Good question.
Hey, by the way, since you said I could interrupt you anytime I wanted to, I'm going to do it again. So Carl is in. Thanks, Carl K. Bridget is in. Thank you, Bridget. Looks like Alan is in. Betty is in. Ricky is in. Tim is in. Pravin is in. And there's more that I can't get to these. Okay, and even more. So thanks everybody who has joined so far. So those bonuses are going fast. So if you haven't joined yet, what are you doing? Get to that link.
I love it. Yeah, you've got Betty here. I can see them. We've got Alan. We've got Hugh. We've got Bridget. We've got Carl. We've got Tim Tapp. We've got Ricky Verrett. Welcome. Congratulations, guys. I've been so invested in delivering this. I haven't even seen these. Amazing. So many of you jumping in here. We've got Pravin, like you said. Yep. Bill.
And then it looks like David just jumped in. Welcome, David.
Nice. All right. We won't keep calling you guys out. We'll get to what we need to deliver. But no, amazing stuff, guys. And I think there was a quick question from Mark Urick, who says, businesses will probably pay attendees an investment to get this if they do post business to claim the costs against us. Yeah, so absolutely. If you mean local businesses or any business, 150%, Mark. We've got people that are making 6 to 7 figures a year reselling this to businesses. So this is for Mark Urick. Just give me a 1 if that made sense to you and you heard that, because my goodness, like it's game over. It's game over. Like businesses are building entire agencies off the back of reselling what I went through here today. Not even going into the Amplify side of things. You roll that in one. The value add is just ridiculous. It's just done. And they don't even need to know that you're doing the AI stuff and all that. So you can do boring posts for businesses too, and then super boost it with AMP campaigns or Amplify campaigns, as I mentioned. All right, so first 30 people until the webinar shuts down. Fast action bonus number 3. We've got one more after this. Is the Amplify Live 2023 VIP admission to our special event. Every year, we were supposed to do a special event. We did one in 2020 last, I think.
Was that Barcelona?
Yes.
That was fun.
It was, right? So Bill was there. So we did Barcelona. Bill was one of our special guests as well. We did a JV sort of event thing after that as well. But we invite lots of cool people. You're going to be involved in our inner secrets and learn those to take a business and profits to the next level so you can scale even faster. And yeah, I mean, live events change lives. I've always said it. I met Chris, my business partner at a live event. I think, Bill, you met Chris before we even met at a live event, maybe years before that. And since then, Bill just mentioned I mean, it wasn't really a live event because it was a private one this time, Miami, but it's still an event and meeting people in the flesh, despite Bill living in the States, me living all the way in the UK. When we do get to meet, like we did in Barcelona and again in Miami, it's just, you can't replace that connection, right? So live events change lives. So we're going to give you access to ours at $5,000 in value. Not sure you can make it. Don't worry, you'll get access to the free recordings of all the talks for taking your business to another level. All the stuff people are doing with boring posts, with AI, with Amplifier, you'll learn all that. And finally, it still gets better because before we shut down, we've got a fast action bonus number 4. Yep, that's it. I was just checking if there's no more because literally I'm going to collapse. But fast action bonus number 4, 100K done for you evergreen funnels. So this is a plug in your affiliate link and then the rest is taken care of. As long as you got your affiliate link, literally, we've got a 6-figure done for you evergreen profit funnels, which you can choose any product you want. That's already built into the funnel. You unlock it, activate it, paste your affiliate link, and you're good to go. Right? So for those of you who really don't want to do anything on that front, I want to get moving straight away. Still need to treat it like a proper business. As I said, we're not the overnight, riches crap. We don't believe in that. We believe in working hard and doing the right thing. It's boring, but if you set things up correctly, then you can reap the benefits later. And yes, it will get easier and faster and everything else, but you need to put in that boring work day to day, right, to hit that. So that's everything. I think so. I'm going to run through a recap and then Bill will do a Q&A, if that's cool with you. But what I'll do, Bill, is I'll run
lots of good questions we can get to. Yeah,
absolutely. So I'll run through the recap here of what you're getting, and then I'm just going to run down and grab some water, and then I'll run up and you can set up some questions for me. So the first thing you're getting is the 100K Boring Challenge course. We're an 8 to 9 figure company, bootstrapped, zero funding from scratch. Now, I'm not saying that to boast or gloat or any of that crap, right? I'm telling you that because that's impossible to do and achieve if we don't help entrepreneurs like you succeed. It's impossible. So what does that tell you? It should tell you one thing very clearly. We know how to help entrepreneurs like you to succeed. We're damn good at it, and we're damn good at providing the tech, the software, and the AI in order to take you to another level with it. Because if we can do what we did without AI and provide those results for people, where they're literally driving millions of dollars a year in traffic over and over again, very simply, by doing the boring work for sure, day in, day out, but simple stuff, then imagine what we can do with AI. That's what we're introducing right now. It's game-changing stuff, and we're super excited about it. So anyway, that should tell you that. Amplifier software, you get the entire Amplifier Enterprise Edition. That's at 5K. Amplifier Credits Ultimate Pack, you should only be getting 4. We're going to give you 12 today because we're literally changing that soon. For anything that we do like this, we don't do it very often, but when we do, we need to be careful. But because Bill's invited us here today, I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna drop it like it's hot, and that's what we're doing. 100K Boring Challenge Mastermind, Facebook access, $2,000. The Boring Content Cube tool and AI method, so you can find any boring post ideas. It's like, what can you post about, or what boring post can you do if it's a new niche or whatever? You just put it into this content cube, which is all AI based, and it spits out all like hundreds, thousands of different topics you could be focused on. You're going to get the boring 27-second mini site builder. So you have your own website built in seconds, all automated, auto-populating with content. Mad what AI can do nowadays. The support hub's a full 24/7 help desk access. So you get full support. Values at 1164. Bonus, bam, bam, 1, 2, 3, 4. So bam, 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 bam. The 100K case studies, every single person's ever made 100 grand with us. Why the hell? Honestly, that's one of the most valuable things. Like, reverse engineer what they did. If you want to make 6 figures and you're serious about it, just like, it's there, learn from what they did and avoid their mistakes. So bonus number 2 is the one-on-one coaching call. Any questions you've got to get ice crystal clear clarity on what you need to do next, any questions you've got is all there. Again, take full advantage of that. We sell the 100K case studies. So bonus number 1, by the way, we sell that. So you have to be careful. It's going to piss a lot of people off. And the one-on-one coaching call, we have account managers handling businesses doing over $1 million a year. Okay. If some of you are doing that, great. You'll understand what I'm saying. But if not, or whatever, like, it's just a case of, these are high valued clients of ours that we are sort of willing to stretch our resource on. Right. But we're going to pull these guys off. They're speaking to proper good businesses, so you can get lots of really good advice. And most importantly, know what to do to move forward. Any questions you've got at all. I wish I had that when I first started, right? Bonus number 3, the Amplified Live ticket. If you can make the event at $5,000, that should be worth way more. That events like that are crazy. The last one we did, like Bill said, just a whole lot of fun, but tons, like a shit ton of great knowledge sharing, right? Bonus number 4, 6-figure done for you funnels. So done for you funnels, if you want to unlock an entire funnel and just, get your boring post up and running very, very quickly, you've got access to that. And last but not least, 60-day money back guarantee, which is of course priceless. But If you are even thinking remotely about refunding, not that you won't be offered it, fine, but just don't jump in because there's no point. Like, you've seen what we've done without AI. You've seen all the results we've gotten. We've been at this game. It's not our first rodeo for a long, long time. You've seen our website, amplify.com. And yeah, we know what we're doing with this stuff, right? So it's not a question of will this work? This works. There's no doubt about that. Just like Google works, just like Facebook works, just like YouTube works. We're a platform in its own right. It's just a matter of whether you can make it work for yourself. In other words, whether you are willing to do the work day to day that it takes, follow the 90-day challenge to see it through, because the rest is there's no question about whether it works, right? It's a question about whether you can make it work, whether you've got what it takes to do the 90-day challenge. If you haven't, then yeah, you probably shouldn't invest. Yeah. Having said that, if you already have a product or a service to push, not the 90-day challenge is mainly for beginners, but if you have a product or service to push already, yes, you might be able to get started a little bit sooner, but you still need to, just like with Facebook ads. I don't know if anyone does Facebook ads. Hey, give me one if you've ever tried to do Facebook ads, or you do Facebook ads or anything like that. I'm going to put that in the chat. I knew Bill was going to say something.
No, Facebook ads are great. They're just hard. Yeah.
Well, exactly. That's my point, right? Like, no one ever says Facebook ads don't work, right, Bill? It's just
they definitely work. They're just kind of a hassle. Yeah.
Well, they're a pain in the butt, right? But you need to learn how to do them. There's a whole process, and there's a whole learning curve to get good at doing them, right? It's the same as anything. I mean, obviously, we're not as complex as Facebook ads or even close, but there is a learning part to doing this if you're doing it for your own product or your service. Or, like I always say to people, do the 90-day challenge, get your own, get some sites up and running, and then you can always do go back to your own product or your own service.
Jay, that actually is a good question that's coming up too. So just to understand the timing. So if they join, when they join now, can they start right away, or do they have to like wait to start a challenge, or can you? Yeah, how fast can they start taking action?
You'll have access to stuff straight away, but then Chris does weekly live sessions where he really unbelievable training on taking you guys through this. So you can get started pretty much right away. There's going to be resources and stuff in your members area waiting for you. So there's nothing stopping you from kicking this off right away and actually launching a few amps if you wanted to do that too, and getting your website up and running very, very quickly. So there's nothing stopping anyone doing that. My point is just, and Bill, I think we've talked about this before. They say, your average millionaire has an average of 7 different income streams. So if you have a product or a service you're already pushing, great. But you could already set this up because it's so simple to do, to get your AI sites up and running, automated, right? With the boring posts going out in lots of different niches, and just keep stacking them up. And then you could do the same for your own product and blow that up using boring posts and using the traffic and using apps. Everything step by step. Again, we take you through everything, paint by number. So there's not much to think about on that. It's very, very simple. So there's many people who do lots and lots of stuff with this just to boost the traffic, because traffic is, I think, the number one commodity online, right? Bill, if you can, it's almost like a currency.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, all right, brother. I'll be right back.
It's half of a digital business. It's fully half of it.
Exactly. I'm just going to have some water. I'll be right back. But then we can roll on with the Q&A. And I'm ready to knock this out. So, guys, I'm investing in you guys. So I love Bill's group normally, so I'm happy to push this. It's 1:18 a.m. by the way. This is
a trooper. All right, yeah, go get some water. I got something to say here anyway. So awesome. I see lots of great questions coming in. We're going to do a round of Q&A, and then eventually we'll release Jay to go hit the sack and get some sleep. But first we're going to do some Q&A. So I'm going to keep him here. As he's falling asleep at the keyboard. All right. So I want to remind you that I have some bonuses that I have added in as well. So Chris and I will be doing a live session together where we're going to show we have over 35 years of experience in driving traffic between the two of us. And, I would bet easily that we're probably somewhere around 500 million visitors to our combined groups of sites between the two of us. And so you're going to get the cutting edge traffic strategies, my top 10 strategies, his top 10 strategies, and then we're going to compare notes and give you advice on what you should do to generate traffic, either with your new sites that you're getting through this program here with them, or if you're in one of my programs. So if you're in Push Button AI or GiveBot or the Profit Bundle or I can't think of some of the other ones, but any of the other ones where you're doing either e-commerce, digital products, an agency business, we're going to talk about how to drive traffic to anything, any type of an offer, any type of a product. And then we're going to zero in on how to make the perfect combination between my products, especially Push Button AI. We're going to zero in and talk about Push Button AI, the sites that you can build through my platform, and we'll talk about how to use their system to drive floods of traffic to your new Push Button AI sites. So that's coming up. Chris and I haven't scheduled it. I'm going to talk to him after, probably tomorrow morning, and we'll figure out the time. But I'm going to say in about a week. So we're going to be setting up and scheduling that, and we'll be doing that. And that's an exclusive bonus for those who join through my link. And it's the link that's been shared with you in chat or that you've seen on screen. We can share it again here as well. And so you've got that. Plus, you can select your best piece of content. So through Jay and Chris's system, they're going to help you generate content and use that content to get traffic. Well, then I'm going to come in. You can take your best piece of content, you select which one you want, and I'm going to transform it into a video lesson up to 20 minutes long. That is going to be an amazing piece of video content. So it'll have a complete voiceover that is really good quality voiceover. It'll have a stock video footage. It'll have text, animated text, and it'll be a great piece of content that can drive even more traffic. You can upload it to your YouTube channel, embed it in your blog, and there's some powerful traffic strategies that Chris and I will talk about where you can use that video to get even more traffic. So I'm going to do that for you as well as an additional bonus. And then everyone who joins while we're still here, you're going to get my 2 bonuses. Every single person who joins before we're gone will get that. And then, of course, you've got all of Jay's bonuses, which is the top 30, or when we head out of here. And I'm pretty sure we're like really close to being at 30 from watching, all the people saying they're in. And so it looks like, oh, Jay, I just noticed you're back. So
I am indeed, Bill. I've got this fiddly new, I don't know what setup you've got there. You've got a really good setup too. I've got, because I like Joe Rogan, so I bought his entire setup. But what I didn't realize is you can't just, again, shows you how technical I am. The XLR, I didn't know what an XLR was. I just thought, oh yeah, I'll just plug it into the PC. And then
going to the USB cable. What's going on?
Exactly. So I had to get this this interface thing. What is it called? Like an amp thing to plug the XLR, and then it. Oh man, crazy. Anyway, it's funny story. So the point being, we made it happen. So
let's see if Daniel's around. I know Daniel's been in the chat along with your team. The chat has been very busy. They've been very diligently answering everyone's questions. But Daniel, I don't know if you have any questions you've saved up that you want to throw to Jay and I, and we can do a round of Q&A.
Yeah. I just want to reiterate, Support's been doing an excellent job at tackling everyone's questions, but I do have a few here that I can feed to you. And I'll start with, somebody wants to actually know if you can review the traffic source again. They continue and say, does this mean no additional traffic source is needed for links and products?
It means, yeah, because you launch the you launch the site, and I showed you an example of that, right? It's copy and paste, but because of the AI, you can populate it, build it in literally seconds. You follow our steps, and you can have a site up and running literally in seconds. And then you can do the next steps to get more and more sites up and running. But really, it's about getting one site up and running, but then you can run an amp to it. So it's all built in. They're getting the amps here today as well, right? So you've got the site, you've got Amplifier to then put that site on hundreds of other sites, some of the biggest sites in the world in terms of traffic and authority. You've got YouTube, it turns it into a video, it turns it into every format of content as well. And you've got 12 of those Amplifier credits. So
those amps actually are the traffic strategy, basically, right?
Yeah, they are. So if once you've got your site up and running, you then literally amp it. But it's all built in, and everyone's got access to all that kind of stuff today. So we don't focus on the amps too much. Well, I didn't today, simply because that was a nice little surprise just to show you, even without the amps themselves, just building the site, the AI, and getting it up and running, is a fantastic thing to do if you do it in the right niche. And we show you how to find the niche within the niche. Do you get what I mean? You couple that with the strategy, the actual method of getting the site up and up and running, and then you've got the AMP traffic. So all of that together, right? It's just game changing. But again,
and you can use multiple amps on a single site, right? So you could do an amp today, and then in a few weeks do another, and
absolutely. I mean, everyone's got enough today in terms of amps to last you the year. So you could do 1 a month, or you could do 2 a month for 6 months. Up to you. You know, either which way, you're going to like destroy the traffic on that site. Get it ranked. You're going to get tons of authority to it. You're going to turn. You're going to have content going out all over the internet on, like I said, on videos on YouTube, Facebook snippets, podcast snippets as well, audio ads on Apple Podcasts and a few others. You've got blog posts going out. You've got infographics. All of that is one campaign. That's one app. You're getting 12, and each one goes to literally. And I'll show you I'll actually show you real quick. Diagram here. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. Where are you? There we go. Bam. That's it. So literally one app. If everyone looks at the screen, this is really important to understand in terms of what Daniel just asked us there. One app creates news articles, blog posts, multiple, by the way. It gets posted on all of these different sites. Literally 300 sites minimum. In the form of videos, so on YouTube and Vimeo. It creates it for you, posts it for you. You don't need your own site. Your own account or anything like that. It's all done. Podcast snippets on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. It creates infographics and posts them on the likes of Flickr and ImageShack and ImageBox and a few others. It creates slideshows for you automatically and posts this on some of the biggest slideshow.
So just one amp does all this?
One amp. This is one amp. Yeah, they get 12. So you can imagine your AI site in the middle here, and boom, traffic coming in from all these different places. So it just super boosts what you're doing with those posts. But the posts themselves, by the way, Bill, get traffic too. The actual the boring posts, as we call them, but the amps just send it to a different level. And we wanted to save that to downplay it a little bit, because we like to under-promise, over-deliver. You know that. Yeah. And for those who do have Amplifier already, I think there might be a few of you who might have Amplifier. You can super boost this new strategy, because we never had AI before. So even with the new strategy, you can have amps and super boost what you're doing with it, because what you're buying is the 90-day challenge and the step-by-step process to get up your new sites and use the AI to auto-populate and begin. Because so yeah, you can get traffic with just the actual posts themselves for sure, but Amplify just takes it to another level. So yeah.
Wow. So it's like a traffic superpower. I mean, you're knocking out several different traffic strategies with one single amp.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like with this strategy, guys, literally you could be generating a serious amount of traffic. You don't need that much traffic, but you can be generating a shit ton of traffic here. And if done in the correct way.
Is that a technical term there?
What's that?
A shit ton of traffic.
It's a British term. It's
different than metric.
It's the only metric you need, Bill. A shit ton means you're safe. You are safe. So yeah, it's a considerable amount, like a real. I mean, like you saw, Chris's site was like generating 50,000 visitors at one point. So we could literally be taking it up to that level for people who are actually implementing this properly. And because of AI, more and more people can do this without us having to teach you and take you through the entire process. Because Chris's method, he's been doing this for 15 years, right? And even
he's a master at traffic for sure. Yeah,
oh,
I consider myself good at traffic, and I would go to Chris for advice. So that he's good. Yeah,
absolutely.
So, all right. So Daniel, I unmuted you. I think you might be feeding back, but you got another question for us?
Yeah, that was an amazingly thorough answer. Hopefully my mic's coming in better. But another question I have here, is this a lifetime membership, or does it all end after the challenge?
So think of it like this. You're going to have an option to lock in more amps at the rate that you're getting them. Does anyone remember the amount that we sell them for on our site? And I don't normally go to our site and show you and all that kind of stuff, because it's not about that, we shouldn't need to go into the Amplify site to show you. I mean, yes, you've got the 8 to 9 figure business. We're doing well with that. That can super boost what you're doing. But the AI method itself, that's what we wanted you to focus on, because that is something no one else can touch. Yes, Amplifier is something no one else can touch too. But if you understand the method, then it's just game over. And then Amplify is just cherry on top, right? But the answer is no, you don't need to buy anything else after. Your membership allows you to lock in the rate of amps if you want to buy more of them later, because it's powered by amps, if you really want to push the traffic. But if I'll show you again, it's $9.95 is what we charge per campaign. You're getting 12 of them for the same price today, including the training and everything else. So you'll have access to Amplifier after this today. So you'll be able to lock down that rate for the long term if you want to. But you'll also gain access to everything that I showed you here today.
Yeah,
so it doesn't end at all. No, you have access for life. So you're good.
Yeah. Hey, Jay, I want to provide a little clarity too. I still see some questions coming in about the amps, and I'm trying to understand how they get traffic, right? So for everybody asking that, you remember the wheel that Jay was just showing on the screen, right? And he had all these different things that Amplifier, that the amps do for your website. And all these different, each one of those is a traffic strategy on getting your content posted to news, on getting it submitted to podcast sites, on there was some video content stuff that they do. There's a whole variety of where they distribute your content and amplify it all over the web, right? So people see that and then they click it and they come to your website. That's where the traffic comes from, right? So they're putting your content all over the web. And this is a strategy I've been doing for many, many years they've perfected it, right? So I used to do a lot of this by hand, and they've now automated it all and perfected it. So they're going to distribute your content all over the web, get you clicks on that content coming back to your website. And then even better, Google likes to see this. So what they're doing, Google likes to see it, and Google will see that as a signal that you are a good site, which then opens the door to getting even more traffic for free from Google in the search rankings. So it's kind of you're going to get traffic from several different places. And then ultimately, as Google sees you doing this, you'll get traffic from them too. So it's quite a powerful strategy.
Indeedo. So I wanted to, let me just let's have a look. So I think I'll go back because I think is it Carsten? No, that's your name. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly and not completely butchering your name. But like I mentioned before, yeah. So if I just go back to this, if you just focus on this is really what makes the strategy work, right? And this is what it comes down to is this. So literally, this is what you do. So Carsten, let me simplify this down for you. I understand it may be a little confusing for you. I know most people are getting it, which is great, but some people I get it, completely normal. But ultimately, this is all you're doing. So let me simplify it down for you. There's 3 steps. That's it. You discover your hidden mini niche. Okay. If you don't have one or know how to find one, we help you do that. We help you find niches within niches because no one is operating in those niches. So there's less competition. So you can dominate. Right. And as an example, I gave you the iMoving, long distance in the USA. But then within that, there's lots of the niche within the niche is you could focus on, cross country, East Coast to West Coast, right? Or vice versa. Or you could do south to north. You get what I mean? So if you do that and you focus on that, you then do boring posts using our AI method, which doesn't use Amplify to start with. Okay. It's just our boring posts. Yeah. Using our AI method on your mini site. That's it. And it's automated. And then you monetize with done for you content, which means once that's done, you can then amplify even further with the content that we provide for you. So that takes it to another level. But step 2 on its own will begin to drive traffic for you. You can then super boost that with amps. Does that make sense? So one, doing boring posts is just one element. But if you want to take it to another level, you begin to use Amplifier to push that, right? So we talked about this. So this is the step by step. You discover your hidden niche. You then decide what you want to monetize. Okay. And on this screen here, let me just make sure, because I was writing up some stuff for you guys as well as we spoke, but you pick from sales material in any niche using a special tool, which you get for free. So you literally can pick any niche, any industry, It includes landing pages, email series, and everything you need to monetize your audience, all done for you. Just pick the one you like, or you can monetize however you want to, right? Because ultimately you've discovered a hidden niche, and you can start driving that traffic, because ultimately in step 3, you get your mini AI automated website. And this just begins to auto populate. It's simple. Boring posts are put on using automation and AI. So you don't have to do anything for this, really, step by step. And then that's it. And each site is going to start driving you traffic and making you money. And Justin Brook here says just 4 websites that make just $200 a day is $24,000 per month. Don't overthink it, right? Literally, it's that simple. You've got 5 sites here. As I said, some are going to do well, some are going to do on average, but or do less than average, I should say. But on average, in total, you're looking at around $300 in daily profit a day. That's $2,000 a week and 6 figures per year. That's 5 sites done kind of okay, right? You can do better than that. Just like Justin, he made it simple. He did 4 websites. But again, you don't need lots and lots of sites. After launching 2 to 4 to 5 sites, you might find some are doing better than others, and then you just keep going all in on those.
Well, and you could use it, right, to do an existing site if you've got as well. So you can do it that strategy you just showed, or if you've got an existing site, then you can use this on any existing site also.
100%.
Question for you here from this one is from Daniel. Is there a time limit on when they can use their 12 amps?
Is there a time limit when they can use their 12 amps? No, you can use them all in one day if you really want to. I don't advise that because it's a bit too aggressive. But you could do it one day. We sell one a day all the time, to people. In terms
so they can do one a day or one a month or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on your industry and the space you're in. E-com, for example, a lot more competitive. You'd need to be doing like one a day or one every other day. We've got e-com clients who spend like $100,000 with us a year, 50 to 100,000. They do one a day, for example, and we charge a hell of a lot more for that. Obviously, you're getting it at a great price today. Thanks to Bill again, right? Bill, I think you haven't been appreciated enough for the price that you've, in Miami. He said he had a good time. I had a good time too, apart from the fact that Bill was twisting both my arms constantly to get this price to you guys. But yeah.
Well, hey, so talking about Miami, right? So I think one of the things that was quite crazy about that is I think it was it. All the days kind of blur together in my mind, actually. But I think it was Friday night. So we went out clubbing Friday night. And mind you, everybody, this is like the top of the top niche clubs in Miami, right? So the best of the best clubs in Miami, which is it's like the East Coast Vegas, but better, I think. And we go in on Friday night, and we are heading back, and we walk outside the club, and it's daylight outside. I don't know how that happened. You know the night I'm talking about? When we came out of the club, and then it's like, whoa, it's like in the middle of the day.
I do. But, normally you feel like, oh my God, like it's daylight, but we felt great. We were like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
We were just
all right, well, let's go
life.
back to questions. So, Daniel, if you have any other questions for us, let me know.
Yep, I only have a few more here. One of them is about the training. Is it live training or training we can do on our own as well?
That's a good question, Daniel. It's going to be a hybrid. So there's training already in there that you can jump into, but Chris always does weekly training, which is on the button based on whatever people are needing. And we take you through that as well. So we've got both. We've got both. It's hybrid because we've done, we've got things people can get stuck into straight away, but with the new AI stuff, we're chopping this up with brand new, fresh stuff as well. So yeah, it's hybrid.
Okay, so they could start right away if they wanted to, and also attend the live ones if they wanted.
No, I'd recommend doing both. But part of the 90-day challenge is we give you stuff to do that you have to follow through, and a lot of that is going to be involved with the live training. If there's a session that you shouldn't miss, we're going to tell you. But you'll get every live session that we do, you'll get the recording of that as well. And then we'll be able to direct you to it, so I don't want to miss that session and do this. But if you follow along the 90-day challenge, you can't go wrong, right? That's why I said to you guys, if you're starting out and you're a beginner, you have absolutely no excuse to just knock out the 90 days and not miss a single day. And that's why I said, do not invest if you're looking to do 89 days. I'm not exaggerating. Or even if you say, oh, can I do it in 40 days? No. if you cannot, go the whole 9 yards for 90 days, will you be successful? Maybe, but I wouldn't recommend that you do that. Give us 90 days. We'll give you.
I like your approach.
That's it. Just put your head down and just invest for 90 days. It's like, when you go to the gym, Bill. So you always get people who ask 100 questions, and it's like, the best way to do it, as a trainer will always say, the best trainers will always say, because I'm quite heavily into my health and fitness as well. I like it. But they'll normally say, look, just stop talking, stop asking questions. Give me 1 hour every single day, or 1 hour every 4 days, whatever it is, right? But this is your workout. This is your routine. This is your diet. Don't ask questions. If you want the result, you do this, because I do this for a living. Do you understand? I get results like this over and over and over and over again. Just like all the results that I showed you guys. Like, we've got way too many before AI. So now with AI, it's just a game changer. But it's a case of just stick to it. We know what we're doing. We're an 8 to 9 figure business, zero funding, from scratch, bootstrapped. I keep repeating that because that's your evidence.
Yeah. And I'll say to the audience as well that, I know both these guys very well, and they know their stuff, and you should listen to them. So everyone who has joined, which I've seen a lot of you have joined, everyone who has joined, when you get in, just follow their training and do what they say. They know what they're talking about. They've got my full endorsement, and both of them are brilliant businessmen, and the traffic strategies are effective. And Chris, and the advice he's going to give you is brilliant. So just follow what they say, and you'll win in the end. And before we go to the next question, so hey, audience out there, everybody who's left, and surprisingly, there's still quite a few people here, but everyone who is still here, please wake up for a moment. And I have a question for you. Let's flip it around a minute. Everybody's asking us questions. Now I have a question for you, and please type this into the chat. So is there anyone here who you've seen the presentation today and you're like, I'm in, I need this, I want this, this is what my business needs, this is what's going to help me move forward? Mentally, you're in, but there's some sort of real world barrier. Like, let's say your credit card's declining right now and you got to call your bank. Or maybe you've made the decision, but you need to inform your spouse or partner out of courtesy before you make the transaction. Or maybe you have to transfer some funds around. Or I saw somebody who's getting paid tomorrow, as an example. So who here is in that state? Say me in the chat. So say me, just two letters, M-E, say me, if that applies to you, and you are excited about joining, but you've got some kind of real world barrier that's standing in your way. Okay. So I want to just let me see how many people this applies to. And again, it could be credit card declines, transferring funds, need to talk to the spouse, getting paid, in the next couple of days, anything like that. Give me a me. Okay. There's a fair amount of people. Okay, good. Well, I want to remind you that we can still hold your spot. And all you do is say save. Is it save my spot? Let me just check and make sure I give you the right magic words. It is, yes, save my spot. Please type that into the chat, and our AI bot will wake up and hold your spot, okay? So now, obviously, if you're here and you're ready to join and you're able, you don't have any kind of barrier stopping you from doing it now, do it now. Don't wait. But if you just can't do it, like it's just physically impossible, you can't move forward right this very second, because we're going to be wrapping up. Daniel's got only a couple more questions to ask for Jay, and then we're going to be wrapping up here. So this is going to be it. Either jump in now using the link you see on the screen, or type save my spot into the chat. And then our AI bot will wake up and she'll collect a little bit of information from you. She may ask you for your phone number to hold your spot. And then we will follow up with you in the next day or two and work out getting you in so that you're not locked out. Okay. So just type that in, save my spot, and the bot will take care of you. Just answer any questions that she asks you, and she'll want to collect a little info if we don't have your phone number or your email address for any reason. And then that will lock your spot in. But if you're physically able to do it, you've got a card that's going to work, you can do the transaction, just go do it now. That's the one way I can absolutely guarantee you're getting in, is by putting that card in and getting started right now. But if you just can't do it, it's just impossible to do right now, then say save my spot. And now we'll go back to Daniel for your questions. So Daniel, what other questions do we have?
Yeah, actually, I only have a final one here, and this was from folks who I think were jumped in. It says, "Are there instructions and videos on how to get started on our own?" Which, yeah.
Yeah, the training is already in there, so there is training they can do starting right away, right, Jay? So they log in, and they could get started right away.
Yes, absolutely. So look, guys, let me make this as clear as I can, right? Everything that we've got is in line with the 90-day challenge that I laid out. Yeah. What that means is just do the 90 days and you don't have to worry about anything. Literally, everything's laid out for you step by step. It's like asking questions like, look, when I get to the gym, are you going to show me this machine or will there be someone at reception? Just stop thinking. Stop thinking. We've been doing this for so long. We've got 90 days. And as soon as you jump into this, you're going to be told exactly what to do, at what turn, and in what order. That's it. Give us 90 days. We give you results. That's it. Everything, I promise you, is taken care of. This is not our first rodeo. So I understand the question. I get it. I understand the questions on, oh, when I log in, can I see this and that? Basically, you'll be given everything you need so that at the end of those 90 days, you're covered, right? So that's it. And I understand, look, I have to be this cutting and straightforward because like I said, the trainer is just going to say, look, this is my process, but just turn up. Don't worry about it. It's a 90-day fitness program, for instance. Just get to reception. I'll meet you there. Don't worry about the rest. It's like saying, will there be like towels in the, it's like, listen, just get to reception and give us 90 days and we'll take care of the rest. And then at the end of the 90 days, you look in the mirror and you're like, holy shit. And that's why I'm here to say, by the way, guys, that when you jump into this and you see how powerful this is and what it can do, you are welcome. You are welcome. And I don't say that with any ego or anything like that. I genuinely am so excited about you jumping in on this and seeing what this can do and experiencing this for yourself and seeing it with your own eyes, because, you will thank me later. You can thank me now if you like, but you will absolutely thank me later. And you can send that through and let us know once you've jumped into this, once you've done your 90 days, once you've pushed your sites out there, once you get traffic to them, once you amp them up. Yeah, you're welcome. You are welcome. So, yeah.
All right. That's all I got.
So what you got? Well, Bill, if there's anything else, I mean, look, guys, this is a great opportunity. I know it's late. I'm past the point. I'm actually gaining energy now.
I told them that we're just going to keep you here or make you sleep deprived.
I'm fine. You get to a point where you sleep deprived, you're kind of tired, then your brain just goes, bam, right, I'm over it. Let's go. Let's keep going. Kind of like we did in Miami.
How's Rocky doing?
He's good. I had to kick him out of the room. He's did you see him when I put him on the camera? You saw him, right? Earlier.
Yeah. So, hey, in honor of Rocky the cat, who Jay saved today while we're on a webinar, I want to remind everybody it's time. So we're going to be wrapping things up here and heading out. So, Daniel, if you could drop the link for the final time, we'll pop that link into the chat for the last time. And this is it. This is your chance to join now or not, but it's decision time. So you got the final link that's in the chat. Join now. If for some reason you're having a declining card or you can't get in, you just can't get started tonight for some reason, then type hold my spot in the chat and the bot will collect a little bit of info from you and then lock your spot in. But those are your two. Well, you have three choices at this stage. One, click the link that you see in the chat and that you see on the screen. You can go open it in a new tab, head on over there and join the program. Choice one. Choice two, you type hold my spot and let the bot lock in your spot and we'll follow up with you. We'll be calling you and emailing you in the coming days and make sure you get in, or you can catch us on the next webinar. That's your three choices. So, but it is decision time. It is one of those three options and you've got to do it now. And, you got him back here. I'll put you back on camera here.
It's okay. Here he is, little troublemaker. Rocky, say hello.
What a cute cat.
Come on. So
All
listen,
right.
guys, we've yeah, you're right, Bill. It's been an epic webinar. I even had to save the life of my own cat and jump
Yeah. Well, hey,
jump
thanks
off
for
midway.
thanks for staying up late for us. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the amazing offer. The stack of value that you gave here is incredible. You gave us a fantastic price. The technology that you're offering works amazingly well, and for everybody out there, I fully endorse this product, and it will get you traffic. That is the thing I can promise you, which is it's half the battle on a digital business. So this is a solution for that. And Jay, any final words before we wrap up?
No, that's it. I mean, you've pretty much said everything. But you're right, Bill. Like I said, look, it's up to you what you want to do with this, with the masses of traffic you could be generating with this. Obviously, it's not going to happen automatically. You'll need to put in the work in the beginning. If you do that, I've said that a few times today, right? Just a few. But at the same time, if you're starting from scratch, then I don't think there's a better offer out there of just simply give us those 90 days and we give you zero BS results, right? But at the same time, like Bill said, if you have a product, you have an offer, you have a site that you want to be pushing and promoting and getting traffic to, like, we do that day in, day out. Like I said, businesses who are doing over $1 million every single year, who are doing over 50 to 100K in paid ads a month, come to us to do exactly the same thing for them. Do you get what I mean? So if it's good enough for them, and they've got businesses, of course, and they're existing, and we can amplify those businesses and take their traffic to another level, and get them all over the internet and all that kind of stuff. So, it's absolutely something we can help you with. So either way, if you're starting out or you have something, or you want to do both because you're just starting out and then you want to have your own product and service or whatever it might be, just like, we're delving into the sunglasses niche now. Actually, Bill, I brought these up for you. You remember these, Bill?
Hey, they look kind of familiar.
Remember I was talking about these?
Were you wearing those on the chair?
Say that again.
Were you wearing those in the chair when you were flying over?
Oh, so these are these are called Dieter flight sunglasses. These are the ones that Iron Man wears in the movie. He's got slightly different ones, but it's the same brand and the same model. His colorway is slightly different, but I like my sunglasses a lot. Bill will know that because he's like, "Damn, Jay, every day in Miami is like a new pair every day." But I know I look like that pretentious.
Yeah. Well, did Steve ever find his glasses?
What's that, sorry?
Did Steve ever find his glasses?
He did, yeah.
Okay.
The next
I know
day.
he couldn't find his clothes, and then he was looking for glasses.
God.
But that's a whole other story for another day.
Well, when you put the promoter to bed, the organizer of the whole thing, who parties for a living, that's when you know. He had a newfound respect for us. He's like, holy shit. But anyway, the point is, I'm showing you these because I have a passion actually for sunglasses and style and fashion and all that kind of stuff. And that's why Chris and I are actually going into the sunglasses niche, because we like it and it's cool. But we're able to do that because we're able to generate as much traffic as we need to because of the AI that we've just launched. So it does most of the work for you. So that's what I mean. So even if you wanted to jump into something you like, as a hobby, as an interest, or whatever it might be, and you want to open up a niche because it's something that interests you, then you can go into that, and we'll show you step by step how to do it. Set up a site automatically, boom, 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 use the AI, power it up with content, and start just stacking up the traffic in there. Then you can put an affiliate offer on there. You can do one of the 9 things or 9 ways you can profit from it. And people have done that before, Bill, and this is why I'm talking about it, because they launch it, and then they're able to, to invest in other projects and do what they want, and then start launching amps and sell the amps to businesses directly. So you've got multiple forms of income.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you have the traffic strategy solved, it does open the door to do a lot of. I mean, I know a lot of people that have, they want to experiment. They'd like to try this e-commerce business. They'd like to try this other business, but they get stuck because they don't have a way to get traffic. So this just opens the door and solves it.
Well, exactly. And once you get moving with it, this is what I mean. This is why it's so exciting. You can just pick your niche, pick whatever you like, and then, you can open it up. And there's other people who just follow the 90-day challenge that I talked to you guys about. Now you've got the AI, which is going to take even further. This is brand spanking new. We've never, ever taught this before because we couldn't. And now the AI is, allowing us to give that to anybody, and it becomes like something anyone can do basically. But once you launch that and you follow it, you're going to have a site making money. And then you might want to, again, go into a passion project or whatever it might be, or So yeah, 100%, man. It's all covered. Like I said, give us those 90 days. If you're new, if you already have a product, service, or website, then this is a no-brainer too, because no one can quite do what we're doing with our method to drive that traffic organically. So yeah, it's
right on.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Right.
All right.
Well, thank you for everything today, Jay. And, I want to ask the audience real quick as well. What a refreshing message, right? Like, how many times have you sat on a webinar where it's all about, some sort of magic voodoo, right? And and here you got Jay who comes on and says, hey, you know what you got to do? You have to work hard and be consistent. And, but it's a nice, refreshing message to hear that, because it's the truth, and so I'm curious, what do you think about that? Those of you who are still here with us, we've had quite an epic webinar. This is actually we had one of the largest audiences on the webinar today that we've had in months. So there's obviously a lot of interest and a lot of excitement on this topic. I appreciate, Jay's approach and the candor that he brings when he says, hey, this means you have to work and actually do some stuff and stay consistent for 90 days. And he's telling you that he promises that if you do that, you're going to get results. He's just telling you like it is. That's being, just straight up front on how this all works. And with their offer, it works even if you don't have a site with me and you not currently have a website, you don't currently have a business, he's giving you a website builder that sets up and builds your site, copy and paste affiliate funnels and ways to monetize those sites. So he solves that for you, where he'll set up the sites and help you monetize it. And then with their 90-day program, you go through that, get everything set up, and you get traffic. It's like it solves both sides of the equation. So you get the site set up, the monetization set up, and you get the traffic done for you at the same time. So it's a phenomenal offer. And on this note, I think we're going to wrap things up today. So Jay, I appreciate you. And all in the whole Amplifier team, thanks to all of you. I know you guys have been in the chat, answering questions, being very, very helpful out there to the audience. And so I do really appreciate that. And on that note, we'll see you all next time. Bye for now.